Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. We're good.
You're live?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, possibly good evening to some people at the back of the world.
You have to decide if you want us to be civil, like if you want us to fall or
Some people on the extreme side of the world might possibly a good evening, but normal people is either morning or afternoon.
anyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon from wherever you're watching us. Thank you so much for joining. And sorry we're late. It's Victor's fault. I've been
God
like
damn it!
ready since I've been ready since
My
last week,
fault.
man. I've been ready since last week, guys. Sorry we're late. I can't see the comments, Victor, but
Well, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but
yeah,
I
that's
can
all
see
right.
the comments.
Yeah,
You
I can
can't
see
see
the
the
comments.
comments. Maybe you use another device.
Oh, okay.
Get
All right,
another
that's fine. Just
device to log in. You
yeah,
want me to
that's
put
okay.
you out so that you can get another device?
No, it's all right. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good day, everybody. How is your week getting started? For those of us who are just starting the week,
Ah,
Yeah, and then shout out to everybody watching from YouTube and every other one. I believe that Art to Art is live too.
yep, we're live. We're live.
All
Thank
of
you
it.
so much. Please share the show as you come in. Thank you so much for joining
Now,
us.
please just exactly be a good Christian. Share.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. This morning, we, I think last week, we, was it? Yeah. I think it was your post, right? It was
Yeah, I
your,
think so.
yeah.
Yeah.
We get into a very constructive argument
Mm-hmm.
with Abefe made a post about this. First of all, let me make a very firm statement that yes, something always leads to something. The issue of sexual violence is, I think, is why. That's why I don't always use the word rape or assault because it's like you are narrowing it down to one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we cut across so many things at the same time.
Yeah.
It's been a menace in the society that has been for like forever.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems that it has been underemphasized. Good
Yeah.
enough or bad enough, we have a an incident that blew out the media space and everybody is talking about it. The sad part is that the minor is involved, who is the victim in this whole thing. The good
Mm-hmm.
part is that it's creating an awakening and an awareness for each and every one of us, especially in society like Nigeria, where you negligence is kind of like the order of the day. We just do things. It seems like
Yeah.
our culture has permitted so many, not really permit, but we just, it's like, say, when you are born into abnormality, abnormality becomes normal. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody know it's bad, but everybody just like shy away from it. The victims can't speak up. Those who witness it can't speak up. The molesters themselves just begin to build a culture around it. So now this issue of Princess and Baba Jesha kind of raised some kind of awakening, and now everybody is drawing so many philosophy out of it. We are now struggling in a conflict between moral justification and the rule of law. The argument has been very interesting and annoying at the same time. On
Mm-hmm.
personal notes, to the case in particular, I've lost interest like almost every other day. But really, this is an awakening for each and every one of us to now begin to look details into it. And I feel the need, a sense of responsibility that those of us you know, who have been out there and have a platform where we can put people together and let us, because clearly we have different opinion to it. Clearly,
Right. Yeah.
clearly, everybody is wrong right now. Everybody is right.
And let me just chip in that it's okay to have a different opinion. The fact that we're friends or the fact that, we're siblings and all that doesn't mean we have to agree on the same things. It's very, very okay to have different opinions. And having different opinions, should not at any point make us enemies or make us turn against ourselves. Do you get what I mean? So some of us
Right.
have a clear understanding of the rule of law. Some of us don't. Like, you agree with me that some people have been, out of Nigeria for years, and some people are not even interested. Like, some of us have totally given up on the Nigerian law and all of these things. Like you rightly said, some of these, abnormal things have become a norm, with we
Mm.
Nigerians, most
We've
especially.
normalized the
So
abnormal.
we've normalized the abnormal, exactly. So it's totally fine, for us to have different opinions on certain issues. It's okay to disagree, but we shouldn't it shouldn't, make us enemies. Like, because you and I don't agree on the same things, don't mean that we're enemies, or we can't keep the relationship or whatever it is. So myself and Victor coming online to talk about this is something that we've argued about. We've talked about. We're like, you know what? Let's bring it to public. Let's consider our opinion here on our platform, and let's hear other people's opinion as well. And let's also use our platforms to educate people. It's okay to have your opinion. Saying this should be happening to Baba Ijesha, or this shouldn't happen to the child, or this should happen to the child, doesn't mean that you're a bad person. Yes, at some in some circumstances, some of us feel like, oh, saying that is enabling the bad behavior, and this is why we feel that Nigeria is not moving forward. But it's not totally right. That's our opinion. Doesn't make it right. So yeah, we have myself and Victor have a different opinion, and we are here to like hit
Damn.
it.
First of all, why are you looking finer than me?
Ah, you know, it's the work of God. You
Why
are
is
you are
one
a
position
sick.
looking brighter than mine?
You Agbere cannot make you like. There's no way you be as promiscuous as Victor and glow. It's not possible.
Agbára wo ló fẹ́ bà mí lórúkọ jẹ́? Hmm.
Agbere ti pọ̀ jù, so kò sí bó ṣe fẹ́ glow.
You see, this is sexual harassment. This is
Ah.
sexual harassment.
I
This is
asked you at the start of the show, I said, how do you want it? Or what about Bewa? Like, let's give me. I asked
no,
you
no,
before
I
the start
can't.
of the show.
We can't be having this. Looking brighter than my own.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
People have don't use phone. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
All right.
use for
No, so
now.
let's get started. Now, when we talk about on two sides, talking about molestation or sexual violence,
Mhm.
from the concept of, see, violence is violence, and then when
Mhm.
it now involves a minor, a child, who is vulnerable to defend himself. Now, I really don't like, first of all, where they explain these things from saying a girl child, and because I don't believe it has to do with gender. It might be, you know, it might be more of girl victims than of boy, but the truth is child is child, minor is minor. Now, so let's start by first of all having a clear-cut understanding. Now, first of all, let me say to our audience, this is not a formal program. This is a debate. Just don't fight. You understand? This is a debate. I'm
Please don't
a,
fight.
I'm a sharp. You understand?
Yeah.
Let me finish that. Yeah. So maybe I should first. Maybe you should start. What is your what will you call it? What how do you feel about sexual violence, or what is your where is it where does it get to that you consider it as sexual violence? Like when because you see, again, let's get to have some adult conversation here. Let's not before we get to the issue of minors. I understand somebody made an argument with me that you might not be right to say sexual violence because there are some sexual violence that are that are you know that have consent.
Yeah.
You understand that
Yeah.
there are some act of sexual violence that is consensual. You understand? So
Yeah.
at what point did you consider any sexual activity to be violent, or to becomes like inhuman, so to say?
Okay. Okay. So personally, when if I'm referring to the word sexual violence, I'll be looking at three words. I'll be looking at the first one would be defiling, like, and I saw something on Facebook last week, and I'm like, okay, if I have the opportunity to come online to talk about this, I think we need to understand what these three words means: to defile, to molest, and to rape. Because then I heard someone say, oh, also when defile the child, but undo more. Now, to defile a child or to defile someone is to put your hands on, to take away their innocence
Mm.
without consent, taking away their innocence.
Yeah. So the argument
Innocence.
has been is really a silly argument, but the argument has been she's not innocent.
Yeah, but so now we are going by the story. Let's go by the story. Let's go by what prompted Princess to make that video, to plant that CCTV camera in the first place. And that's the issue of this man defiling a minor. To defile a minor means to put your hands on her without her consent. It means to take away her innocence. And from the story, but from what we heard, story alone lead to the point where they planted that CCTV camera to actually see if this guy would do anything. Now, the second one, I said to defile, and the second one is molestation. So what we saw in that video is what we call child molestation. Putting your hands on the child, doing all of those playing all of these sexual games on that child without the child consent. Now, even though, there were some parts of the video where we saw him hugging the girl and the girl was holding him, with him putting his hands around the girl's hands around him and the girl was playing along. That why I heard people say, oh, the girl was playing along, she was enjoying it. No, she was acting the script. Remember, there's a camera watching, and she's made the complaint to say this guy did this years back. Now, for us to get facts, for us to be sure that this guy actually did this, we're planting this camera here. The girl is aware, so she has to play along, even up to the point of him leaking and doing all of these things to her. She had to just take it, as painful as it would have been. She had no choice but to just sit there and play along because there's a CCTV camera watching us, and we need as much evidence as we can get. The good thing is there are people behind the scene who will not let this guy penetrate me like he did the last time. So that's to molest. That's to molest. That's molestation. Now, rape, we all know, is to forcefully penetrate, like whoever, and this could be a child or minor or whatever. You see, all of these three things, either of these three things done without consent is sexual assault sexual, whatever it is you want to call it. All
Mm.
of these things done without consent is like is assault, is sexual like assault, regardless of how we want to quote it. Yeah, like you rightly said, there are some sexual violence that happens, between adults.
Mhm.
The difference between that and what we're talking about now is the fact that the adults consent to it. We have heard, on
Mm.
social media where people would say, "Oh, I like it rough. I like it when, I like this. Oh, if my man don't do this, then, I don't feel complete. I don't feel like it cares enough. I don't feel like it loves me. This is my spark. This is what, turns me on. This is just what I enjoy. That's different. You know, so the difference
So,
between that and what we're discussing now is just that
consent.
word consent. Yeah.
Mm. Is
Well, in my
consent.
opinion, yeah.
Now, do you feel that sexual violence has to involve necessarily involve physical contact?
No, not necessarily. Not
Because you see,
necessarily.
there's what we call there's what here is a criminal offense. What they call verbal assault.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, I wish that can be a law in Nigeria. People will go to prison for no reason. Because, because I've seen people really made like very, very sexual comments as a
Mm-hmm.
joke.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we say it to children in the presence of their parents.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody just think it's a joke.
Yeah.
Everybody just think it's a joke. I have when my daughter was 4, we went to church one day, and my daughter is kind of this picky kind of thing. For some reason, she liked to play with the boys because she play rough. So when she get to church, her eyes is not on those who are playing with teddy bear. Her eyes is on those ones running and chasing stuff in church. So she's
Mm-hmm.
always with those little boys, and they're even older than her. So one lady just said, "Ha, Michelle yìí, ha, ọmọ yìí máa láṣẹ́wó, ọkùnrin ló máa ń bá ṣe káàkiri." I paused immediately. It's like there is something flows from my leg down to just
Mm-hmm.
press from mad bottom. If not that it was church. Like I've never felt so like go from 0 to 10 like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, excuse me, Omoy, like why would you even say that to this?
The child.
Pé
Mm-hmm.
ọkùnrin ló máa ń bá ṣe. And they think it's a joke, and he was laughing about it. And before I
Mm-hmm.
responded, like two, three, four persons were laughing about it. But Bello, Josh, shit like that.
No.
I didn't find it funny. I really didn't find
Mm-hmm.
it funny because I won't say that to any child.
Mm-hmm.
To me, those are verbal assaults.
Yeah.
Now, to a teenage child, they say stuff, all this stuff, and they just want to compliment the body, compliment the look. There are some child that really grow really fast and they already
Mm-hmm.
begin to have that adult, and they openly make comments that are, see, this is what I believe in. And there they start.
Yeah. I'm sexy. Or, oh, you're sexy.
Hmm. So
I find people still use those words,
see your
but
sexy daughter and all of those things. And you
mm-hmm.
see it in your presence now.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who can say that to your face, if
Mm-hmm.
you are not there, you will
Yeah.
proceed to, physical contacts. Now,
Mm-hmm.
do we feel like this thing cut across? Like now, when it comes to let's before because we are going to deal more with when it involves a minor.
Yeah.
Now, so many women have been coming up with so many concerns. Unfortunately, this Baba Deja issue now just make rape very popular, very fashionable.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every
Mm-hmm.
woman now want to have a story. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, who they never rape? You understand? Now,
Mm.
this is highly disturbing. The week that it
When you
happened,
say no, no, hold on. When you say every woman wants to have a story, I want you to go back there. Like, can you elaborate on that? What do you mean by every
like
woman wants to
all
have
of
a
a
story?
sudden,
Mm-hmm.
this Baba Deja issue, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe that he gave ladies, the maybe it's an anger or his confidence to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm a little bit worried because I have people that I know for a couple of years, and now they're just talking to me about their experiences of. molestation. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
now this is his
Why
crazy.
now?
You understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Now this is crazy
Yeah, but
part for
then, yeah, go
every
ahead.
that week, every female that speak with me have a story.
Mm-hmm.
So I was
So
like,
now let me tell you this. See,
what's going on?
let me not say 50, let me not say 60%, but 55% of the average Nigerian woman has been molested or raped at some point in their life. Now, not everyone had the courage. This is not where we were 5, 10 years ago. Now people are beginning to summon the courage to actually come out and say, this happened to me, this has happened to me, this is that. Whereas some years back, you will not dare open your mouth and say to your mom, "Wait, I was coming from school in your tell me, lawyer.
Mm.
I was coming from this place and someone did this." You cannot tell your parents that. So now it's like,
Oh.
like you said, that's like the abnormal becoming a norm. But now we're at that place now where, women are beginning to feel like, I wish, there was a platform where we could actually come out to tell our story and tell people what has happened. Oh, I wish my parents was, more understanding. The parents of today, we are the kind of parents who will sit down and have this, talk with our kids and give them sex education and all that. The sex education that we had back in the days is tó bá ṣe kíní kan fún ẹ báyìí ó máa lóyún. So do you want to go and tell your mom pé lágbájá ká ẹ mọ́kànnà pressed you here and there and you're coming? You will not. So yes, a lot of people, so many women will come out to tell their story now. It's because everyone is beginning to summon the courage to come out. We are beginning to realize that it is normal for you to come out and say these things. If this has happened to you before, it's okay to come and share your story. It's okay to speak out. Like Era Tawayi is saying, is the time where you can actually speak out. There are people who have strong platforms that are willing to hear your story and willing to give you support. So when you say, how come every woman? Is because over 50% of the average Nigerian woman have been molested or raped or defied at some point. So I just wanted to clear that, because it felt like you're saying, oh, they're all coming up with this story. No, people are not coming up with these stories. People are actually coming to tell you what has happened to them in the past. They're coming to share stories that they've not been able to share with everybody growing up. See, it's so normal that they even forget. But when they begin to hear these stories, some of these events begin to play back in their memory, like, oh, but so this guy that actually, did this, yeah, this guy. Okay, personally, growing up, yeah, while we were in Maryland, there was this man, this Igbo man, I can't really remember his name. I remember that there were these small Calabar girls that used to go into this man's flat. We were really young at the time. I think I was in, I can't remember, primary school at the time. I remember vividly that there were these, small Calabar girls. They're like 3 or 4 of them that will always go into this man's apartment every
Mm.
evening. Maybe we're going to get something, maybe we're going somewhere, but we always used to see these girls, and these girls, I think their mom, they lost their mom some years. I can't remember, but their mom wasn't in they were just living with their dad and maybe one of their
Mm.
uncles. So, but they used to go in this particular man's flat then. Personally, and this man, he would try to buy sweets and buy stuff, but growing up, my mom would be like, "Hey, you cannot take anything from anybody there was no reason to take anything from anyone anyway, because we didn't even have that time to just be on the street or go out to somebody's house to work. Like my mom was strict raising us. So thinking about it now, I'm not asking, like, when all of this came out, all of this rape, and over time, just recently I started my mind, I just like, remember that guy for some reason. I'm like, okay, this
What was
girls
it
that used to
doing?
go into this man's house every evening, they used to sneak in. It's not like they will walk in and say, you will know that when you see them, we don't see them going in, but when they're coming out, you know they're sneaking out.
Them
We will
creeping
see
out.
them. Sometimes they will even, when they're at the man's house, they'll be giving us signal. Is anybody coming? Is anyone? And we didn't know. Like, for personally, we were young then. But thinking about it now, I can actually say, okay, this man was
Mm.
actually doing something with
Doing
these girls.
something. Mhm.
Maybe the initial time he would have lured them with maybe something sweet or whatever it is. Over time, it will become a norm because they are getting stuff from them. And that's why I said the average Nigerian woman has a story. The first time, they may not like it, but if it's giving them stuff or is, luring them with sweet things or money or whatever, it becomes a norm. They will go back. Tó bá jẹ́ àwọn ọmọ tí ò ní nǹkankan, they will go back. You get what I mean? So everyone has a story. It's not like people are just coming up with these stories. No, something actually did happen to these women. They're just at that place now where they feel like, oh, I trust this person, I can share. If every woman that has been molested comes online to talk about it, trust me, you will be shocked. So yeah, just to clear that.
So you feel like it's a societal issue. What
Yes,
will you
it is.
think as really accommodate this behavior? Because this is a menace in a society. Like, why does it, ground like that? I saw a video. Somebody sent me a video over the week of this security guy. I don't know if anybody have seen it. There's a security guy in UK. He was on duty.
I saw it. Yeah.
He has been texting this minor
15-year-old. Yeah.
for a while. So the father of I think she reported to the father. So the father took the phone and has been responding to this dude maybe a couple of days. So the man walked there texting and responding to him. Just, caught up with him.
Bashed in.
Bashed in and called the police. And right there, they put handcuff in his hands and
taken away.
When I saw the video, when I saw the video,
Victor, pin comment. I want to read comments.
No, this one is crazy. This one is crazy. I will pin it. When I saw the video, right, I pictured the same scenario in Nigeria. One father walking up to say, "You are texting my daughter the entire time." And that security guy will beat the hell out of that father. Right. And he will still have a ground.
Many.
This Baba Desha argument is becoming infuriating, ridiculous, and at the same time interesting. Because now you can see the mindset of the people. We all complain about this thing as it's so bad, but it seems as we are the one breeding it. Because we always see the end point as to be bad. But I believe that it's a societal problem that starts from somewhere, that starts from little things that we do not give attention to. Little things that we don't think it is bad. Small here, it's okay, yes, small here. Little negligence here and there that now becomes what everybody now, this kind of assault that people now, going through. I look at it, picture that same scenario in Nigeria. One man just say, texting my daughter. The best that will happen, the man will say, "Why are you using your daughter's phone?"
No, get there. You are not right. Let me tell you what will happen. So the first thing that will happen is, number one, the child will not even have that courage to tell the father that someone is texting her. The reason is the father will ask, how? Why did you give him your number? Number in the first place. So this is the issue. And when you ask me, killing Kotofa, why is this ongoing? It's because, see, Nigeria, we are still at that place where these parents do not believe in actually, sitting down and having conversations with kids. Make your kids your friends. Let them freely share whatever it is they want to share with you, just so they don't make mistakes. Do you get what I mean? So this girl, gave the man a number and they've been talking, and the dad has been, talking to the girl, and acting like, it's the girl. And then that happened. In Nigeria, it cannot happen. See, the same people, don't sorrow the rule of law. They will be the same one to say, she both on chats in could share anything now. Could commit any offense. Don't on chats in he said, these same people who are talking about the rule of law, they will be the same ones to say, you know what? He's not done anything wrong. Meanwhile, in the Western world, we all know, save time. Lose the share. Save time. But this in Qatar and Ribi offense, you commit offense in Nigeria, kò sí any law.
If you call the police on that kind of a thing, the police will be like, "Are you crazy?" If you are
Yes.
not arrested for false alarm, then you are
Mm-hmm.
lucky.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
crazy.
Shebi
So,
is the police that you call. Ọlọ́pàá tó bá rí gan ló máa pè tó máa wá. Is it the same police that you go to their station to report and they ask you to pay for the keke marwa and the car or get a car that would take them to wherever it is, they need to go pick up whoever they want to pick up. So, I mean,
mm,
when you're talking about and that's why personally I was a bit upset when I heard people talking about the rule of law and all of that. Like, I know we're going to get there, but I mean, the rule of law gone has failed the child herself. This same rule of
mm,
law, tẹ́ ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa yìí pé he has the right, he has the right. That same rule of law, that right, tẹ́ ń sọ yẹn, has failed the girl child as well.
mm,
So
mm.
while some people are coming out and advocating for Baba Ijesha and all that, I will advocate for this child because the Child Rights Act says that if this girl is being molested, if this girl is being raped or whatever it is, the first thing they should do is grant her protection, her
Mm,
safety. So how
mm.
come people are coming online to fight for Baba Ijesha to be released and all that? It's fundamental human right. It's his right to be released. It's his right. Oh, I can't see my comments. Someone just said check your comment. I can't see my comments. I don't know if I
Wait,
have an admin on my page, but I can't really see my comments. Anyway, someone said, yeah. So while some people are saying, oh, the it's his right, he needs to be released, he needs to be this, he needs to be that. How come people are not coming out to talk about the child rights as well?
well, the child right is the reason why he's locked up.
Oh, but there's more to the child rights. The child rights
Oh.
also says the child should be granted protection. So while they are fighting for him to be released, they
Well,
should be
but those
fighting.
advocating for the child are not saying that.
No,
They are more
what I'm saying
in
is,
convicting than fixing it. One of my concerns in this case is that nobody's talking about the girl.
the
Hello?
girl. But see, one thing we don't know is, do we have a caller?
Yeah.
I'm really sorry to interrupt your chat now, but first of all, we need to understand that this thing happens all over the world. It's not just an issue with Nigeria. But the only difference is that in the diaspora, the way it will be dealt with, if if it comes out, is different from where we come from. I think now we're beginning to like there's a step forward now in Nigeria. The awareness is now being created, and the only problem I see with men, especially even you, Victor, I see that you're struggling to understand why the women don't speak up on time, why they are quiet about it. Now, I need you to understand that there's a stigma attached to sex.
Yep.
Even though even though a lot of Nigerian men believe that, oh, it's fun, it's something that is really, really, that's pleasurable. But there's a stigma attached to it for especially for young ladies. Apart from the fact that where we come from, you can't really approach your parents to tell them what you experienced.
Mm-hmm.
But you feel ashamed. You feel ashamed to even talk about it. And for a young girl, the way the men treat them to have sex with them, there's no way an average girl, even if they've taught them at home, if a man wants to have sex with a young girl, they will. Because there's something called grooming. They groom them. Now, in Baba Ijesha's case, people are saying, oh, the girl was up to also, she was enjoying it. She was, playing to the gallery and all that. Yes, even if she had agreed to it, the fact remains that she's still a minor and underaged. In the Western world, whether the girl agreed to having consensual sex or not, Baba Ijesha will still be liable to being punished under the law.
Right.
Because that's an underage, that's a minor. Now, people can't understand why, those ladies were so infuriated and they were coming out like that. They were coming out from the place of pain and trauma.
Right.
It doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. When I was growing up in Nigeria, going to school it was terrible. Working in Yaba to go to school, the Igbo boys, those days they used to have them on the railway line, and we would come up from the bus to walk that way. There's no way a Nigerian young girl will tell you that an Igbo guy hasn't touched their breast or pat them on the bum. We didn't like it, but we had to go that way to school. There's a lot of abuse in Nigeria, and it seems to be the norm. Now, saying that why I didn't have to coming out, even if they come out 30 years after, we've seen it happening in the Western world. They will still be able to punish people to punishment with or without evidence, whether the child consents to it or not. I have a problem with the way Nigerians are going about Baba Jesha's case. Especially the women.
It's sickening.
It seems to me that there are so many wayward women in Nigeria. So many wayward. And it tells you that the foundation, of most of these people is very faulty.
Fucked up.
Did you see the case of the young girl, Waila, or what's her name, that was trending yesterday? That her sister's husbands, 2 of them, were sleeping with her. From the
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
From the age of, from what age?
From 11. One of them started with her from the age of 11. And along the line, she said she told her sister, she got pregnant, her sister went to abort for her. And then, because nothing was done, the elder sister's husband, the younger sister's husband, started with her. Eventually, I think the girl became wayward. That's what happens, even with men. Even with young men. A lot of young men will tell you they've been abused from the age of 12, 10 by an auntie or a house help or something. When you see some of these men who become really wayward later in life and they don't have any regard for women, check them out. They probably were abused as well as young children. Now this girl, if you want to follow her story, it might even help you. It's on or something. It's on Facebook, or something. It's a very pathetic one. This young girl, I don't think she's even up to 24 yet. She's now a drunkard. She's an alcoholic. And she's got a baby and she got a partner. The partner sent her packing. She went to throw that baby away in a alleyway. And it was found. Yeah. And, it's a very pathetic story. Now, sex, the man that was interviewed, this Owamweni Osheka, whatever his name is, he couldn't even say she was raped from the age of 11. He said, oh, Soedo Birin. Okay, I felt like, seeing this man physically and slapping him. Soedo Birin at 11? The mentality of a lot of Nigerians is so warped. It's so warped, it's sad, it's so sad. You see the women, even on Facebook, people that you are friends with, the way they're fighting for Baba Jesha. Oh my God.
Those are my concerns. That tells me something. We can't fix it, the action, the end point, if you have not fixed it from the grassroots where you realize that even the mindset of the people permits it.
Even Victor, I've seen some of your updates, and I'm like, maybe Victor doesn't even understand.
I know, right? Even Victor's updates.
That's where we are going now. That's where we are going now. You see,
so annoying.
That's why I'm waiting for all of you to talk. As much as I understand all of this narrative, where we are is where we are. Emotions is different from the rule of law.
Now, why are they holding
rule
on?
Of law, Shiwo.
Someone says she wants to sell her house. Do you really think she meant what she said by saying, "I will sell my house, we'll kill you"?
Well, when you are making public statement as a public figure, everything you said is taken into account, unfortunately.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. But then, the fact still remains that they were talking from a place of pain and experience.
That does not get to court. It doesn't apply. You can't even help anything. You can't fix nothing.
It can't fix nothing, but our words, what she said, will now be taken into.
They are not going to court with them. They're not the bone of. Yeah. The bone of contention is Baba Ijesha, princess, and the young girl.
And see, by right, it shouldn't be Baba Ijesha and princess. It should be Baba Ijesha and the state.
The young, exactly. So
yes,
and the state.
Is this? I don't know. Well, we've not seen it. The court is not even open anyway to make it worse. So
okay. Another thing again is that people are saying, oh, the Yabojo should bring all her 5 the victims, all the people that assaulted her. I mean, do you not see that this is a way forward for Yabojo as well? This is the first time this kind of awareness has been created in Nigeria. And I'm very happy. It's a way forward for us. Whether Baba Ijesha is given jail sentence or not, I'm happy now that we're moving forward somehow. So it's very pathetic because I see Nigerians, I'm so afraid of a lot of Nigerians now because they just think, oh, it's sex now. It's pleasurable. So why would anybody go to jail for that? Whether the girl consents to it or not, for a minor to date a 48-year-old man is still, Baba Ijesha should be punished regardless.
I'm telling you.
I'm really sorry to interrupt. Yeah. So maybe if you I might call back in. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your contribution.
Now,
thank you.
I wanted us to
there's something that
so now let's
go,
into this case as a case
no,
study.
No. Let's
not
go there first. Let's first address. Okay, let's start from the scratch. Because I saw comments that says the girl is 24 years old.
No,
I want to just clarify. The girl is not.
Let me use this point.
Victor, wait, let me just clear something. Let me clear something. That girl is not 24 years old. There's a video on Olowo Gbogboro's page. Please, everyone needs to go and see that video. There's a video of Princess, a lady, and 2 kids. The 2 kids were sitting just at the back of the car, and they were dancing to Olamide's song, Bobo. Now, when I saw that video, I went to Google that song, and that song was released between 2016 and 2017. And the girl, 2006 and 2007, 2006 and 2017, I think, or 2016 or so. I'll check again. I have the screenshot. I was going to post that on my page. Now, when I checked the time that song was released to now, is between 6 to 7 years. The girl in that video, the girl we saw in that video is not up to, at that particular time that they made that video, that girl will be within the age of 7 and 9. If not even less, between 6 and 8. Put the years together. It's not possible that that girl is 20-something. So, while we are saying this, we need to try to do our findings before we come on social media to write these things. Let's just try and do a little bit of digging. Let's put ourselves in, whoever the girl's guardian's shoe. If this was my child, because I feel like as individuals, we're saying some very hurtful things on social media that, well, of course, we feel like we don't care, nobody sees these things, it doesn't matter. But see, it goes a long way, and it goes a long way telling the kind of person that we are. It's okay as a mother, it's okay for women to put emotions into this and, be sensitive to everything we see and, be upset that people are saying, oh, Baba Ijesha deserves to be released. Baba Ijesha Kiniko is right, it's Kiniko. And it's okay for us to be upset that some people are advocating for him. It doesn't make those advocating for him evil, but it just, I don't know. Personally, there are certain people that I respect so much, and I've had a conversation with them. I see them saying, oh, Baba Ijesha should be released, and I'm like, are you saying from that CCTV camera you did not see anything wrong? And they've all established that, yes, he molested that child. They all saw the video, but what they are saying is, there is fundamental human right, is entitled to that right. And that right says it should be released. In also saying that, I've mentioned before, the girl child, this particular child who has been molested, also has some rights. How come? These same people who are saying Baba Ijesha should be released, they are not saying this girl should be granted some kind of protection. Because from what I gathered, there's no protection, nobody's checking, no therapy, nothing whatsoever.
Well,
nobody's asking about this girl.
Whose fault is that?
It's the society. It's the government.
No. It's not the society that took Abacha to court. It's not the society that took Abacha to police station. Excuse me. That is those who are defending the girl, who are pleading her cause, should put her interest first. Now, let me state this thing very clear. I want to state my position over this whole scenario. First of all, I'd like to say, anyone who by any means or any part of this narrative want to either water down the gravity of what Baba Ijesha has done or want to vindicate him is devilish, inhuman, and very insensitive. As a matter of fact, people should be prosecuted for trying to defend it. He has done, I'm telling you, he has done
Yeah.
what is grievous. There's no
Mm-hmm.
angle you want to come from. All the old stupid explanation about the princess were dating before, and the girl and the were dating before. They are madness, complete madness. This thing
Yeah.
is not just wrong, is inhuman, is dirty, it's not even a good thing to behold, not to talk of trying to explain it. There's no moral justification whatsoever for it.
Mm-mm.
Idesha is guilty, period. However, I have certain things that are I hold to a very I hold some things at high esteem. One of the things that are values of my life is truth. Hear me. Truth is truth. Truth
Mm.
is self-sufficient.
Mm.
Truth should not be mixed up with anything. Truth should not be altered. The story that was relayed to us, I have taken my time to look at it. In fact, I have to go back. It's like I'm going through torture to watch that video again.
Mm.
The story that was relayed to us, aside from, you know, we being, yes, of course, there's no way it's wrong, being emotional about it. So we discountenance certain facts in the story. Maybe they should have not tell us a story and just
Mm-hmm.
show us that this thing happened. So we could just
Mm.
go by, okay, yes, we saw a video, it happened, and not go by any background story. That story do not make any sense to me.
Okay.
And that's why I have a problem. So I feel like Baba Adesh has done something very grievous. He should be prosecuted. I would be surprised if he doesn't go to prison for it. But then, Princess is not telling us the truth. And I
No,
don't
she's
know.
not. No, are you saying she's not telling the truth or she's not telling the whole truth?
Well, if 99% truth is 100% lie, unfortunately. Now, some part of the story don't make any sense.
Okay.
Number one, this is where I have a problem with it. I don't know what kind of parents have 6 children and give them to a woman who don't have a child at all to raise. I don't
Plenty.
know that part.
Plenty.
Except,
Within
except
a,
for there's a part that I don't understand. Maybe 6, maybe 4. I'm hearing some people say 6, but the bottom line is that the parents of this girl in question, they are they disappeared. They don't exist. Even at this point, as this sensitive issue, as bad as this case has been, the parents are nowhere to be found.
can
You
anything.
understand? They don't have to, huh?
I'm
Is that what
like,
you think?
so no, I'm saying what as if
What does that got to do?
a mother, no, what as a mother deciding to give her 6 kids to someone who doesn't have kids, what has it got to do with the child being
Not
molested? What has it
one,
got to do with
two,
Princess's story?
3, 4. No, that's where the story started from. That's why I said
No,
they could have just addressed the incident that happened now and not see.
even if
We
that,
don't even
even
have to
with the
talk
way
about
that
7 years
is,
ago. One of the matter that
with
I'm
the,
worried about is we don't even have to talk about what happened 7 years ago. What happened now is
mhm.
enough to convict this dude.
And what
Okay?
I'm saying
Because
is,
you see, the whole
with
7 years ago story does not
mm,
align. It can't. You can't. I think this is the reason why they have loopholes why people start getting on them.
mm,
Now, there's another part that we all mixing up, and I'm happy that that's where you started from by defining
yeah,
the term. Till now,
yeah.
we are not sure what really happened 7 years ago. Was this girl raped, molested, assaulted? I'm not. It doesn't make it less. It doesn't reduce the gravity of the offense. But
Hmm.
again, we need an account of events.
So see, Victor,
We
let me
don't
come in
know.
there.
Today, princess will say she raped her. Tomorrow, we say he touched her. Next tomorrow, you say so. Let's forget 7 years ago because it don't make any sense. To
Hmm.
me, if I want to advise them, I will have just say, let's talk about this video, this incident. Now, wait.
Okay, no,
Let me just relay these things out.
don't let me
Now,
forget. Oh yeah, I'm
so
taking point.
parents be writing it down. So
Mm.
one mother have 6 children and
Hmm.
gave all of them to one person to raise, right?
Yeah.
That's one point. Number two, so this girl was either molested, assaulted, raped, whichever one that happened 7 years ago. And the consequence of that is that she has been acting funny. She has been, she's not been academically sound. Her education, she says she's at, she's not been doing well in school. She's
Yeah.
been acting, she's been withdrawn. They could easily see that, something is wrong with her.
Pin comment. Oh God, I can't see comments. And I don't have my laptop here.
No. Yeah, somebody said it's not something. No, that's where I started from. I said it has nothing to do with what Baba Disha has done. But
Yeah.
again, the story they are giving will buttress what he has done, make it now look as if. See, the reason why people are coming out to say something or begin to look into details is that the story behind the incident was not aligned, and people now begin to feel like Abi is framed up. People begin to question the nature of the incident itself, even with the video. Now, this is what I'm saying. So this girl has been affected mentally for 7 years. Academics has not been fine, and then it took her 7 years to eventually come out and say something, right?
Yeah.
And the best intervention that could have done to apprehend this person. I want to say very clearly that we don't need a video evidence to prosecute Baba Jesha for what he has done 7 years ago.
We do.
We don't need it.
We
Now,
do.
whether you think we do or we don't, this is the question. This is what I'm saying. So, who exactly is talking about the interest of this girl that now decide to subject her? You know, no book when it did because of what happened 7 years ago. Is behaving. So you now ask her to subject her to the same experience or even worse. For what to happen so that her brain can just die finally, right? Now, as if that was enough, we have now made this thing blown to become a media issue. Even if Baba Jesha go to prison for 100 years, that girl will never ever get over this horrible incident. In fact, this whole process of prosecution and this whole media noise is worse than the molestation she even went through. Now, so I realized that this is my problem. This girl, nobody is speaking in her interest. This girl should be in a psych ward somewhere going through therapy or something. Nobody. If Princess Yabojo were in the interest of this girl, they will not even blow this. Are you telling me that this guy cannot be arrested without all the social media stunts?
No.
He can't?
No.
No, he can.
No, it can't. Even if he gets arrested. Okay. Do you want me to answer your questions? Because you've asked a few
No,
questions.
I am aligning these things. So now,
Okay.
so my concern is this: the interest of this girl is not in any of the narrative. Now this thing becomes a social media issue. Okay? Let me first of all say Yomi Fabi is a nuisance. I'm saying it online. Openly. It's a complete nuisance. But however, he's making some very valid points that you cannot take away from him. No. He came out and said, okay, let the law take its course. Let them investigate. We have not seen evidence. What caused the banter between Yomi Fabiyi and Yabojo was that he said
Evidence.
we need to see evidence. Right?
Yeah.
They came for him. The same people brought out the same video to the media. Yes, tell me. It's not Princess that brought out the video. It's Punch. Abi, it's Punch newspaper. We be Mugun, Abi. It's Punch that released the video without the consent of anybody.
Consent. Yeah.
It's not possible.
Not Princess's consent and not
So it's
Yabojo's
who?
consent.
Okay. Oh yeah,
That we
now.
don't know.
So, but Yomi Fabiyi now went to stage a protest, which doesn't make any sense. Quite all right. He went to stage a protest peaceful process, so to say. And he raised a placard that has Yabojo's name. Yabojo, that same day, the lawyer was writing him, trying to find a lawsuit. At what
Yeah.
point are they planning to sue Punch for releasing a vital, sensitive video without consent? At what point are they going to do that? Because they will make more money from Punch than Fabi. Fabi
You know
is
what I mean?
broke.
Yeah.
That you will tell me that that video was released without consent is a lie. It's not true.
Okay.
It's not true. Now,
Okay.
all of this has something to do with what Jesha has done. Get it right. Like that's why I started from. There's no justification for Baba Jesha. There's none. But
Yeah.
when you are saying the truth is self-sufficient. The truth can stand on its own. Maybe some things are just not. It should not just be said at all. Because you see, the reason why we have a divided audience and why people are begin to now dig into what doesn't even apply is because the story just don't add up.
Yeah.
You don't. Now, from the angle of two things now, emotions. Everybody that has been talking have been getting emotions. They are talking from the angle of pain, where we understand the pain. But you see, the law has nothing to do with emotions. It has nothing to do with it. The law will not change because of your pain. The law is not reacting to what happened. The law is responding to what has been written. You understand? So whatever happens comes in match with what has been written, the provision of the rule of law. So it doesn't matter whether it is big. As a matter of fact, there's no gravity of offense. It's big or small. It happens this way. It happens that way. Who is involved? Whoever is involved. Oh, this person is a celebrity, or this person is a small girl, or this. There is a provision in Lagos State. I understand that there is another. They enacted another law in 2005 that protects a minor, which is supposed to be the law that should even that we just have to follow due processes. And I feel that in attending to the issue of this girl, like I said, I would maintain a position. The only victim in this whole story is this girl, and that's the only thing that has been under that we have given zero or no attention to. Princess has not done well for this girl. Yabojo has not done well for this girl. Baba Jesha has done the most. Because to me, this is now looking like self-interest. So this girl is not focused on. You're talking about the right of the girl. They are saying Baba Jesha, yes, he has a right to bail. You do have a right to bail. As hungry as you can be, he has a right to be bailed. That is the provision of the rule of law. That is the provision.
Anyway, let me.
Yes, she does have a right. She has a right to be protected.
So as long as I want to start from the top, but let me start by saying, as long as the Nigerian legal system or whatever it is, can fail the girl child on this particular case, then they should fail Baba Ijesha too by not according him his rights. He should remain there. That same law that says they should protect the girl child who is being molested, since they are not implementing that law, they are not protecting the victim. They are not doing, whether anybody is advocating for the victim or not, since they are not doing anything to protect the victim.
Who is supposed to do it?
Victor, hold on.
There's no law that said that they should go and protect the girl in the house now. There's no provision for that.
Victor, don't say that. If what happened to that girl happened to Igbo, you know that you don't have to call anybody.
Unfortunately, it's not Igbo.
So okay, now, so I'm saying that even if, let's take for instance, if this video was just thrown on social media, let's say no one knows, and then the video was thrown on social media and nobody is saying, I know the girl, or Princess is not in the picture, Punch, Insta blog, whatever, threw the picture out on social media, Baba Ijesha would have been picked up by the police. Whether anybody makes a complaint or not, don't get that wrong. He would have been picked up. He himself would have been on the run, because the moment he knows that the next thing would be that the police will pick him up, because that's an offense. So let's take out all of these people who are advocating for the girl, or all of these people who came out, Princess Iyabo and all of that. Why is nobody, no law coming, nobody coming out to say, how about we talk about the girl? Who is protecting the girl?
However,
At the end of the day, it
we are
boils on
talking
us.
of, the
No,
law don't implement itself.
I
People
know. That's
implement
what I'm
law.
saying. I know. That's what I'm saying. All the women, all the mothers who are out there talking about Baba Idesha's fundamental human rights, they should be talking about the girls' rights as well, if we want to be fair. So while we are saying Baba Idesha, this is his right,
For
we should also talk
somebody
about.
who raised Baba Desha's rights and they want to demand for it. As a matter of fact, nobody even raised Baba Desha's rights. It was Iyabo Ojo who insisted that he has to be legally detained.
No, so it wasn't Iyabo Ojo. Iyabo Ojo heard that someone, when he got arrested, Iyabo Ojo, I remember she did a live show,
Say
and
that
then she
again.
said, when the guy was arrested, Iyabo Ojo did a live show, and I heard her say, words got to her that someone or some set of people are working to get Baba Ijesha released. So it's not like it's not
Now,
something
that
we
now
had
look
that.
at
Victor, wait. No, wait. Hey, let me answer all your
no, they are
questions.
doing the right thing.
Because you threw me a lot of questions, so I need to answer your questions one at a time. Now, first off, Victor, a mother chooses to give 20 of her kids to a woman who's never had a child is inconsequential.
No.
The
It does.
mother.
You want to be emotional about somebody did something to you.
Hold on, Victor.
About the negligence of a mother
Victor, hold on.
All her children. I'm not saying she did wrong. I'm not blaming the mother. I'm saying it's not a true story. That's what I'm saying. You understand?
Okay. True story or not, let's go by the story that we all have. This woman gave 7 of her kids princess. That's 6. Sure, 6. Kokon ẹjọ́ ta fẹ́ ròyìn anyway. Kò bá kú ọmọ 15. Bóyá ó check wọn, bóyá kò check wọn, bóyá kíní kan.
No, that's not what we are saying.
It's inconsequential because this girl was not raped on the streets. She was not raped by the roadside. She was not raped hawking for princess or doing any legal thing.
Okay, let me tell you why this is important. Have you heard that there has been an argument that the argument of this girl's age came into play when they are beginning talking about who is this girl?
I get that. I will get there. Let me just tell you.
He's raising all these public concerns.
Yes, I get that. But what I'm saying is, boya ọkọ 20 or 30 from princess still be worried. So Emi mo ti ruling out. Now, yes, I personally had questions when I did this old gist. I had questions. I'm like, see, between you and I, one thing that I can say for a fact is something happened 7 years ago. What happened is what I don't know. But something did happen 7 years ago. And like the caller rightly said, there's something called grooming. And grooming is, like I said this on my show, the show that I had some weeks back talking about this whole issue. I said, see, but when you groom dear, from Omoyema Loko for Banidi. She princess, so she'll report from princess. Check him out, my from princess, bear princess, master for me. Princess for me. Oh, Lola, mo tell on you. Nothing. Mo for need 200 naira back. Master for anybody. But boy, it's in grooming. Dear. Did something now happen? Is what I don't know. What did something happen? Yes, something happened 7 years ago. What happened? Did he molest her, rape her, or whatever? Is what I don't know. But I'm very sure something happened 7 years ago.
I don't think Princess knows.
See, Princess would know because the girl would have told her. But let me tell you this. Princess Are, she failed the girl. As much as personally, I don't care about Princess Baba Ijesha, whoever. I'm more particular about the girl child. This particular girl we're talking about. Now, Princess failed this girl. I'm going to tell you one of the ways to fulfill it. Now, a child who gets raped right under your roof, and a child who gets raped right under your roof, there are signs that you would have seen. Even before she starts withdrawing, she starts performing poorly academically, there are certain things that you would have seen. Let's assume that this child was 7 years old at the time. So is it that there was, not a single time, Princess only stain? Remember that if he raped the child, she would have bled at some point. So is it that in the entire house, in that household, no one saw any blood stain anywhere? Not on the girl's clothes, not on the girl's pants.
Maybe if she has been with her mother, the mother will have taken cognizance of all of that.
Not that morning she was raped, not the night, not the following morning.
Yes.
So, and a child that was penetrated. Yes. So a child that was penetrated, it would take 2-3 days. You will still begin to see some funny things on the child's pants. Is it that princess did not take note? No one else took note of any funny discharge on the girl's pants. How come it was that point where the girl was withdrawing from everyone and having these issues in school that princess then knew, oh, there was something wrong? So I think in that area she failed the girl. Now, yes, princess is not telling us the whole story. If I were princess,
Okay.
God forbid
Okay.
it. If I were a princess, God forbid it, I won't tell the full story myself. Do you know why? Because she cannot put everything on the table. Yes, and remember that when princess came out to tell that story, she was in tears. 3 hours is not enough to tell everything that has happened or to tell the story according to how this girl may have told her. But now I want to go by the video that we all saw. So whether Goya, yeah, come 100 delay, you're not interested in that. Now, the other one you talked about was what happened now and all of that. See, we all saw that video. It took Baba Ijesha less than 15 seconds to Princess Iba to begin to touch this girl.
Was actually
There's something,
four.
you see. So there's something I wanted you to say that you didn't say, and I'm going to make that point now. There's something that I was waiting for you. I thought you were going to come up with this, but you did not say this. Now, after Baba Ijesha did what he did to this girl 7 years ago, has the girl been sexually active? Possibly. Sharon, you think
Those are not a prerogative for me. They're not a defense.
What I'm saying is because I've
If
heard people say, if she
has been sexually active by choice, that's her choice.
by choice, exactly. So Baba Ijesha defied this girl at that young age. Yes, I think he did. I don't know to what extent, but I know he did. Now coming back to now, it took him 4 seconds to begin to do all of these things to this girl. Whether we like it or not, everything we saw in that video, it's enough for this man to just go and rot somewhere. Now, if we're talking about, is the video evidence necessary? Victor, it took Busola Dakolo years. Even after she made the report, a few months or whatever time that the incident happened back then, she didn't get justice. It took her years. A married woman, she still came out to say this man did this to me. Today, that man is still, pastoring a church and he's still working freely. You know why? Because she has no evidence to back up that claim. Forget when we are talking about she need to plant camera and she need that security. We need to also realize that we are talking about
the man is not working on the street free because she doesn't have evidence. The man is working on the street because she did not follow the process of the law. Social media is not a court.
Okay, so Victor, are you saying
this is the same mistake that everybody is making? She went Victor, online to talk about her experience. That is not how.
Oh, Victor, whether she's used a social media platform,
do you know that the police case has been bastardized before the Princess and Yabodo begin to engage a lawyer? They did not even engage a lawyer.
Victor,
for the most part, they are using the people's sport.
Victor, whether she uses the people's sport, she uses social media or a platform or whatever it is. The bottom line is this thing happened. Doing it on social media or talking about it on social media does not eradicate the fact that this guy did this to the girl.
Exactly. We are on the same page at that.
So whether they come on social media to talk about it first or whether the bottom line is she claimed that this man did this to her. She claimed some people this knew about it back then, blah blah blah. But the system failed her. And she's not just the only one. We had the story of a girl called Ochaya, the girl who died, the girl who was molested by her auntie's husband. Her auntie's husband, the son. They molested this girl severally until this girl died. That man and that child, only God knows where they are. The last we heard of them was they ran away. And till today, we haven't heard anything. There are so many cases. See, the ones that we're talking about now are this one that we can see. Is like because princess is princess. Do you know how many cases of molestation, of rape has been taken to the police station and nothing happens? So the system, the Nigerian legal system, has failed us. So if princess is planting a CCTV camera to see, and I heard people say, set up me. Why did he fall for it? If he hasn't touched the girl before, Why to she fall? Why was it so quick? Àwọn èèyàn ní ọmọ yẹn jókòó sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. Of course, ọmọ yẹn máa jókòó sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ because camera ń wò wá. I need to prove to my mom that this man has touched me before. She expected kó lọ jókòó sí Kutu Wenjini.
No,
She
those ones
realize it pé.
business arguments.
So she realized it pé the camera yẹn wà. The camera was actually facing that position. So they would have told that girl that whatever happens, you have to
No, I
sit
mean,
here.
she was scripting. She was following the script. They wanted it to happen that way.
So, did you guys expect her to go sit in another place where camera will cover and then
She did what she's supposed to do, since that is what they have resolved in doing. Like I said, I made in one of my articles, I am not a fan of the decision to do this setup and using this girl to set up. I'm in total disagreement with it. But then, there are some things that you don't agree with, but you understand.
Mm-hmm.
From a place of understanding, I understand why they have to do what they are doing.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask you a question, Victor. Let's say, for instance, this video. They don't have this video evidence. And then Princess or whoever, you hear in the news or on TV that Princess alleged, because alleged it's accusing.
Even now, alleged.
Pay Baba Ijesha molest almost 7-year-old. What do you think? Can you just picture what the situation would be now? Can you picture the drama that will be going on in the Yoruba movie industry? How they will all be saying
Newsflash, Abefe. Yeah. What would have happened is what is happening now. Even with the video. No. Did everybody believe her?
No. Victor is a lie. I don't
What's the point of getting this girl to this video? Right now we are still having arguments. Some crazy people are still saying, okay, did you hear the fact that the video was doctored? Victor. People are saying crazy stuff. So even with the video, subjecting this girl to all these ridicules, putting this girl out there, yet you are still not convincing. So why did you have the video in the first place?
Victor, see.
Why?
You cannot the video will not convince everybody, but the video will convince 70%.
Well, we don't have 70%.
Bear in mind, we have 70%. Let me tell you, we do. The 30% that you're thinking we don't have are people who are saying it is right releasing. You don't have to detain.
No. I don't know. They're not saying. I don't really know.
I don't see Victor. I don't see a large number. I don't see a large number of people saying he's innocent. I only see
anybody who says innocent.
So if not for the video evidence, we won't be saying what we're saying right now. Can you consider video evidence? The story of once Baba Ijesha gan ma ti bọ́ta á ti ṣe baba ńlá show. Àwọn èèyàn gan ò ní lè sọ̀rọ̀ pé ṣé evidence wo lẹ ní láti fi ṣe kínní. Àwọn èèyàn gan máa ní reservations wọn, but no, they won't be able to come out to say, you know what, this is my opinion. But this video evidence has really helped. It's really helping, and I'm so happy that this happened.
Somebody said that this will have been bullied. Is she not bullied now?
He's been bullied.
That the video would have achieved is still not. It's still the same.
Let me tell you, Victor. Princess is being bullied, but she's getting a lot of support, and that support goes a long way.
But she will still get the support regardless.
See, if she had come out to say that man molested this girl without any video, no, she would get the support.
Okay, the same way you asked me.
As much.
Without this video, if she had said it, will you have believed or not believed her?
So I personally have believed because I'm a mom.
Exactly.
But I will have no. But I will have a second thought, Victor. Do you know how many cases I've heard of this person raped me, that person raped me? Do you know how many cases? But I mean, I just done a deaf ear. I'm like, we sure these celebrities, these so-called celebrities. I remember back in the day, there was this guy, this friend of mine. He used to be a part of Mo It. I think this guy, Towa Bald. I remember back in the days, there was this story about him molesting a girl. And then I was talking to my friend, I said, see, these guys, I know they used to have an apartment in Maryland. There are some very funny stories that came out about them back in my university days. You heard some very stories and all of this Mo It crew. I said we had some funny stories and how I heard someone who said, oh, that guy, doesn't really, is not like the other ones, he's not very friendly and all that. Then a few years later, hearing someone say, oh, somebody molested them or whatever the story is. I can't remember if it was this guy or one of this Mo It crew, but I didn't pay attention to it. To me, I'm like, you know what? There's no video evidence to back up this claim anyway. There's no evidence to say he actually did this. Haven't we heard cases of, okay, look at the story of this girl who I was talking to Omola about this girl who has a son for the widow, Larissa. Now everyone knows that Omo he looks like David. Everyone knows, okay, this child is the widow's carbon copy. But he's not accepting the child for whatever reason. You know, Tomo. If we had not, if Igbatá real reface on my we're like, the girl that claims, you know, she was pregnant for the video at the time. But when we all saw the baby, we are like, no contest, no story. This child is the dope. Evidence. And then we had other stories. Other people who said, "Oh, you know, Davido Fumiloyu, the other one with the that has a daughter." We've seen the girl, and there's no striking resemblance, and we all know that Davido has strong genes. So whether you like it or not, this country, part of the world, Tawawa, everything is based on, you know, evidence. Before you go out to say, "Oh, this has happened to me," people are asking you how, who was there, when, why do you think our parents back in the days gone? Tobaso say, "Oh, Lagbaja slapped me."
Okay, well, you see, you know, our argument has always been me coming from the standpoint of the rule of law. Let me quote what the Child Code Act, the Lagos State Child Code Act says. That they believe that when a child is making a statement about molestation, the child is always 90% correct. They don't need video to establish a case. That's what the law says. Now, whether they will now win the case or not, that now depends on their legal representations. But they do not need a video. They will not.
Will you agree with me?
They won't go to court or to now say we want to make a case. This thing happened. Now let's separate two things. Wait. On the normal scene, this girl confesses to you 7 years after. There is no evidence, right? The video, they choose not to go to with the video. They don't even, they are not going to go to police station. You understand? They will go to get a lawyer and go to court. So now when they get to court, their legal organization will argue that everybody will see. What do you mean by they don't have evidence? Number, the first evidence they have, the first evidence and the most valid evidence they have is the girl. According to the child. No. This is the law. The law, you can't alter it. According to the child.
Where? You can't alter the law. Where?
Well, now, let me explain it. People have said this thing to me, oh, Nigeria, that there's no law. You are lying. There's law in Nigeria. What you don't have in Nigeria is implementation.
It's the same law that protects the rich. The same law that has helped the poor.
Don't deceive yourself.
Are you telling me that
there are two things that you can get from Nigeria? One, to think that there is no law. There is law. How you will know that there is law is when they want to use it. You understand?
So what I'm saying is,
bring that law for you.
If a minor accuses, let me say a minor accuses Otedola of rape or whatever without evidence, Victor, tell me how that case will end. Between you and I, and you need to be honest. If
now,
a 10-year-old guy,
this is where you guys, let me answer you. This is where they don't get my argument. Is that it's a different thing to say there is provision of law. What I'm saying is there is provision of law. What you are saying is law implementation. Right?
Okay, what is
there are two different things. No. There are two different things. It is provided by law that this is what they should do. Now, wait, I'll be very
This is provided, is it implemented?
Now,
the provision of law.
How it's being implemented? This is where this whole case is being messed up. Is that you should first of all file a case before you make a public showmanship.
So if you make a public show,
now wait. Now you asked me a question. You said if a minor accused of $10, maybe you don't know. The bigger the head, the bigger the headache. If a minor accused of $10, that makes it more case. Do you know how many lawyers will want to work for the child for free?
What are you talking about?
Squeeze out $10.
That's what you talking about. In which country?
No, there is law. There is corruption, but it doesn't erode the place of the law. Do you understand? There is corruption. We know that. Yes, they will pay their way through. They will bribe the way through. But guess what?
We are talking about the same people. The same police DP or whatever you call them.
This is now where social media is essential.
Peanuts. Ọmọ aríyàn tó fẹ́ fún wọn ní 20 million. You're talking about implementing the law.
Okay, now,
Ọ̀gá.
say that again. Ọmọ ayé ọ̀dọ́ fẹ́ fún wọn ní 20 million.
See, I've had a time here. Let me tell you a story.
Now that's compensation. Now,
Victor,
if they consent to that, what's wrong with that? That's not a crime.
No, I'm not saying no. If the child doesn't want to be compensated, if the child doesn't want compensation,
No,
I'm saying once they squeeze some very good cash, that case will be swept under the mat.
Normal condition.
Our lawyers, our judge, no answer. We're talking about these same judges, the same people to implement the law.
In the Nigerian
no,
the word has changed, Abefe. No.
Okay.
No, now we are in the world of social media.
Victor, let me ask you this.
Not in the world of
Victor, let me ask you this. Do you agree with me that there are people in Kirikiri who did absolutely nothing wrong?
Definitely.
And they're still locked. Why are they still there? Why? Why are they still locked?
I am not saying the law.
Don't.
We are in a lawless country. We all know that.
So what are you talking about?
People are being illegally imprisoned or illegally detained.
So what are you talking about? Why are you talking about implementing the law? Why are you saying,
the only reason why those are there, 9.5 out of 10, is that they don't have a good representation. That doesn't
take people. Why are people not standing up? If you're saying, "Oh, what you mean?"
Why are people not standing up for what?
Why are lawyers not getting up to say this?
Why would they want? Why should they?
So why do you think
it's always a game of who is involved?
So why do you think Omoye would have gotten justice if they didn't have that evidence?
Because this is Baba Idesha. Excuse me.
Yeah, who is Baba Idesha?
Well, that's a name. That's an household name in Nigeria.
So how do you think a person who has no fame, a young child who has absolutely nothing, who has leverage over a public figure?
Princess. Even with the claim, it won't even get to limelight if it's not for Princess now. What do you mean that she have no name?
See, let me tell you. The only reason
this is a true banter between two celebrities.
No, Victor, no.
They can go about this thing without the video.
Victor, no. Bear in mind,
and they will still have a claim.
No. Bear in mind that Princess is a stand-up comedian, and the only people who I've seen on social media who are standing up and showing her their support are the same actors and actresses. Some of them. I have not really seen any stand-up comedian. I've not really seen people lending their voice to Princess. And that's to say, if she didn't have that video, she would have been standing on her own. To be honest, if she didn't make plans to actually plant that video, Princess will not have a say. I can tell you, she wouldn't even dare come out to talk about this. Because she knows that the world, because they will be saying 7 years ago, and 7 years ago, if I could in any case. So I mean, we just need to be we need to like let's not. I know no, is that right? Is that but let's go the Niger way. Let's think about all the people who are locked up today, and most of them go most of them go lawyers work. I remember sometime back, one of my family friend had issues, and out of the blues, I just got a call, and he said, "Kemijo, ni court ni bisongo okaye." Moniki lo shela, emi last stop court. I called the number back. It was one of these people. I'm like, "Baba kan pe mi nísinsìnyí bí bye. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Wọ́n sì ti wọ́n mọ́nu cell, wọ́n dúró kí judge dé, wọ́n gbé wọn wá sí court. Wọ́n níbo ni court yẹn wà?" This person told me, and I ran to the courtroom. I ran there. When I got there, the one out there, John K said, kí ló ṣe, òun ò ṣe nǹkankan o, àwọn boys kan ló ń jà, òun kàn dúró bẹ́ẹ̀, wọ́n kàn gbé òun ni. So ta ni mo lè bẹ́ẹ̀ pé ẹ̀gbọ́n òun kan, òun pè wọ́n. Fún mi ní nọ́mbà ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀, ibo ló ń gbé lọ? I gave them money, pé kọjọ. The people that brought him, I gave them money, I gave him money. I said, pè mí, anyhow, wọ́n máa jẹ́ káwọn gbé but àwọn máa sanwó. I called the brother, I'm like, what's going on? Brother, you said, see, the brother that I called said, well, see, I brought that guy, I was able to get that guy out. The next hearing, talk about me, Mama Sheshe, and Michelle Kwani, Kimowa. Ìgbà tí ó máa padà lọ sí court, wọ́n release ẹ̀ ó kò mí ní nílò àwọn tó ń lọ court, mo ní má worry. Lawyer kan mo ti bá sọ̀rọ̀. The lawyer, in fact, but lawyer kan mo ti bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀, wọ́n ní kí n má worry, àwọn lọ́wọ́ in charge case ẹ̀. The next thing tí mo máa gbọ́ nípa kíní ẹ̀ ni pé wọ́n ti fi bọ̀bọ́ yẹn lẹ̀. nǹkan tó ṣe tó fi gbé mi ò mọ̀. Nǹkan tó ṣe bí láàrin fídíò yẹn ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ débi tó fi lẹ̀ mi mọ̀. It does to tell you pé money works and bullshit talks. Àbí money talks and
I agree with
and
you.
bullshit talks.
We are
So
not. We are
I'm
not.
telling you that there are people in Nigeria that judge here come and write one off me. See one,
Yes, they will just dismiss the case because they are inconsequential. Yes, well, we know.
And there are people who are in that same jail today that want to and not back
Yes,
they are lost. So the Nigerian system in general has just
it's
failed
messed
us.
up. Yes.
And see, personally, after let me
In
tell
the
you one
Bible,
thing that
say,
Shori, Victor, I took my time and I was thinking about Baba Ijesha. Kọ́lọ́run má mú wa. Kọ́lọ́run má mú wa. And kí Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí Kọ́lọ́run má jẹ́ ká tẹ́ni síkà. And may God just, align us with people who would genuinely love us. Get what I mean? From what I gathered, Yomi Fabiyi and this man, they are not friends. Where are all Baba Ijesha friends?
there is no right thinker that would stand in Baba's defense.
Yeah, I understand that no one wants to reckon. See, I understand that no one
right thinker
wants to reckon with.
That will rise in his
But
defense.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you one thing that I think his friends should have done. That I personally, I would have gone on social media. I would have turned on my video and I know that only my koto shenye. But mo fẹ́ bẹ̀ gbogbo ayé gbogbo àwọn obìnrin àtàwọn ọmọdé ẹ jọ̀ọ́ just ẹ kò dáríjì. Just soften, heart ọkàn àwọn èèyàn. Not this one, Yomi. See, Yomi is one of the reasons táwọn èèyàn ṣe hate bọ̀bọ̀ yìí. This Baba Ijesha. Ó ti mess up. Ó ti fuck up.
If you ever have one.
Personally, when I saw the video, I felt, I was upset when I first saw the video. I'm like, but boy, you can't deal with it. Maybe not come back, but can't deal with it. Can't lock it up. Can't put it away. It's a threat to the society. But when I went back fourth time, yes. But when I went back fourth time to watch the video again, at that moment, I still put myself in the position of a mother. But I'm like, God forbid, this is someone's son. He got married. He had a set of twins. He lost his babies. Wife left him. This is a man that is totally broken, shattered. I can imagine how Mama go through.
That was my first one when I heard it. I said himself need help. People think I'm trying to speak on his defense.
He needs help. So I'm not defending him. And
I was speaking in his defense. Why did I
He's not to save time. But to save time, they need to help him. He's been through a lot.
Well,
there's no justification.
Prison service. They just keep people there to stay and wait to pay their life.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to serve time that they need to now rehabilitate him. Why he's serving the time? He's supposed to go through the process of rehabilitation.
Benny.
Come and become responsible in the society.
I'm telling you.
Because whether you like it or not, their budget says that they are spending 5,000 per day on one prisoner. That's the budget. And
that 5,000 per day is 1,500
on one prisoner.
That 6,000 per day is 1,500 per day. You and I know that 6,000 per day is 1,500 per day.
Are you serious? No prisoner in Nigeria can expend up to 200 naira per day. In which prison?
In
which one?
What are we talking about? So Baba Ijesha, I'm like, he had friends, in the industry. He had friends, and how come they're not coming online to do a video and say, yes, support because Ijesha say, odoju tiwa.
Like I said, times, they are both wrong. They are all wrong.
But kowa dobale, kowa bebe, eba wa dariji. Ni ko ma jiya ese, o gbodo jiya ese. But eba wa dariji. That's number one. One I think Baba Ijesha should have done.
Hold on. Somebody said, let me pin this comment. Somebody said, people's past experience is not a justification for...
We are not justifying... No. We are not. There's no justification.
Let me respond to that from a professional angle. I'm a mental health worker. I have prisoners in my hospital ward taking treatment. Prisoners. Now, their experiences does not justify or exonerate them, but their experiences are filed as claim for their actions. Victor. And if you think that people's experiences cannot determine or condition their action, you will be very wrong. I have seen teenagers who have been through traumatic experiences growing up, they become wild that they begin to have psychiatric diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
It is not because they are not born like that.
Mm-mm.
It is the experiences that they begin to have growing up as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Neglect, negligence, abuse,
Trauma. The
they
trauma.
run into trauma, and then they begin to have diagnosis. And they are
Mm-hmm.
on medication most likely for the rest of their life. Guess what? It doesn't make them any better.
Victor, let me add something. See, even those at the time on Facebook, yeah, when you come online to abuse and do all of that, and you have a face and you feel like, oh, the police will come for you and all that. See, they even go to the police. Some are on the lockdown while on me and one is squishy Lori. Because that's an excuse. So this is not an excuse about Ijesha Askemi. He's done wrong. Nkoto Shea is a sin. He should be punished for it. You know, it shouldn't be put back in the society like that because it's a threat to the society. Oh, it has to be dealt with for what is done to that young girl. But in saying that, I think they need some kind of help. And I hope he will get that help. Later or sometime in life. For Princess, I think Princess can do better. Let me talk a little bit about Yabojo. Personally, Emigo, I was applauding Yabojo. I'm like, she's done so well. She's lending her voice. She's a mom. She's this, she's that. Well done to Yabojo and all that. And Yabojo did a really, really good job, with all of this. And she's one of the reasons why some of us, were privy to this gist and all that has happened and all of that. And well done to Yabojo. But the day Yabojo went to Fancy, the day in fact, you're part of the problem because you're not saying the truth. Baba Ijesha did wrong, but he has to, he has rights to law. I don't get that. What did
No,
the person
and
say?
that's why I think this. I really do not understand what the person was
In
saying.
fact, you are part of the problem. Yes, you're part. See, now let me say this. Um, Princess Funare, yeah? Iyabojo, I'm talking about Iyabojo. So Iyabojo, I think the part that Iyabojo started going wrong was when they went to Panti or wherever it is they went to. Some of those displays were a bit unnecessary. Do you get what I mean? Especially for a public figure. That first display of jumping and all of I didn't like that personally. I'm like, okay, but I mean, LA so opinion in LA what the protest especially Kadema, Kadema share all of this show. It wasn't so good. I just didn't
I want you to
make any
finish
sense.
and please give me 2 minutes. Can I explain? So that you will now understand my standpoint of view. You are getting there. Go ahead.
Yeah. So that didn't look good. And then after the old Panty show, they went to a restaurant. I personally do not see any need for them to do a live video at the restaurant eating and joking and doing all of that.
You are
Because
just
for
running
what
on
it's
the
worth,
ground in front of the police station now. And your
yes,
man swallow amala no goofy.
for what
It
it was,
looks like a
hey, to
script.
get justice
Hmm.
from ye. Hey, to really, hey, to achieve
I are
any,
grooving.
hey, to really debut a fellow, hey, chain burn hey, they were long jubilate, hey, long
And
down,
you.
hey, long. It's okay to go and eat, and it cost half. But what we are saying is, was there
Why do
any
you have to
point
do that in
going
showbiz?
live? So it now looks like Eko Fikini Shere and could really hit in that could do you
Thank
claim.
you.
So it's like a
Thank
show, like
you.
it's like you just want to feed the public with news.
Will
You
you
just want
now
to
blame those who now begin to question the authenticity of this whole story? These
yeah,
are
so
why.
so yeah, so
These are
that
why.
princess made a mistake, allowing anyone make a video of her eating and crying and see sometimes or Toro backpod you my wale like when you might tell line more. I heard people say, oh, maybe Princess and Baba Ijesha were in a relationship. Kokon or I just one lay.
You are two adults. No, buy for our
They are two adults, Kokon, but Princess
No, what
going
they
on
said
and on
was that
about
Princess and Babajija and Forawon, and then Princess now find out that Babajija told me no. They said Babajija and the girl are having an affair, so she was
no, no, no,
hurt
no,
that
no,
Babajija. So they now reconcile with the girl and they use the girl to set him up. Crazy story like
no.
that. I don't want to
So
believe it.
let me tell you another story that I heard. One of the stories that I heard was that between that 7 years ago and now, I heard that Baba Ijesha, well, they said Baba Ijesha Tomoye, they've been seeing themselves outside of Princess's home.
Yes.
How true that is, I don't know.
We don't know.
If that has been, if that has happened before that video we saw, then I don't know what to say. If I don't know to say that video is an evidence against Baba Ijesha or not, I don't know. Show you, but I'm going by the video that we saw and what we were told. Now, boy, I want to hear that one between
Maybe that
when he
thing
first
was
left the
explained.
girl and now is what we do not know, and I cannot answer to that, and I don't want to,
Now,
talk too much on that. I
exactly.
don't know,
That
but
has been our melting point. You see from where you get to, and let me now
yeah,
expand further by making you understand. See, this is my pain. Every of my statement that has been against Princess and Iyabo Ojo is not
yeah,
because I don't believe them.
mm-hmm.
It's not because I want to justify Baba Ijesha. God forbid evil. I have a female child. There's no way anybody that want to justify that man is a devil. Like I said, people should be prosecuted for even trying to defend him.
I
It's
know, right?
as bad as that. It's as bad as that. But you see,
Yeah,
why I've been frowning against their actions is because I really want to see Baba Ijesha being prosecuted, not because I hate
yeah,
him, but because I need somebody like that to serve as deterrent.
yeah,
Our teenagers right now, our children,
mm-hmm.
they are watching. Unfortunately, social media ti bad news. News
Mm-hmm.
is not what you have to sit down by 9 p.m. to watch again. Everybody have access to it. Even if you don't give your child mobile phone to use, they go to school, they have
Mm-hmm.
classmates that have mobile phone. They gist, they
Mm-hmm.
talk. These kids know everything going on. So
Right.
I think it is good for our society that they
Mm-hmm.
will all see consequences, not just hear actions, because they have been hearing incidents. Let them see
Mm-hmm.
consequences going
Yeah.
on somebody that is perceived to be a celebrity. So they can for two reasons. Any girl child or any child who is who go through such can feel comfortable to speak up without this stereotype and stigmatization of them being, you know, doubted or being
Mm-hmm.
perceived to be wayward or being perceived.
Mm-hmm.
The shame and the social disregard that comes out of it would be taken
Yeah.
away to be able to take bold steps. And that is
Yeah.
how we can make a society that is free from all this sexual violence. Two,
Mm-hmm.
these kids are seeing these things. If Baba Jesha need to be duly prosecuted so that, see, a male child that is bad becomes a husband that is bad and then becomes a
Mm-hmm.
father that is bad. This thing
Mm-hmm.
don't happen in one day. So
Mm-hmm.
a male thing now, I see so many disturbing videos online. I see
Mm-hmm.
so many disturbing video online. You see children twerking, an adult is making the video. It bothers
Mm-hmm.
me. It
I know.
bothers me. We've seen so many decadence. I saw a little boy of like 11 years old bought a Camry that they said he did Yahoo and make a lot of money and bought a car. And grown ass men were hailing him and he was throwing money on the street. That boy cannot exceed 13 years old.
Mm.
And it bothers me. I don't know. There was one that is really disgusting of two, like 3 years old, 2 years old kid that they were inappropriately touching
Striking.
each other.
Yeah.
I saw one that they were twerking, and people, it is adults that is making the video, and they are laughing about it. Remember, you see, this our society is messed up. Remember this boy, Shegun Wire, that
Mm-hmm.
those guys did a video for. Iṣẹ́ wo ló máa ṣe tó bá dàgbà? Ṣé mo fẹ́ máa ṣe yahoo yahoo, mo fẹ́ máa ṣaṣẹ́?
Yeah.
And we all think
Okay,
it
my
is
fashion.
funny,
Mm.
and we share it on social media, and we try to, with all respect to that boy. If they tell me that that boy raped tomorrow, you think I will be surprised?
Mm.
We just told that little boy that it's just good to tread on that part. We just
Don't
told
you
that boy,
see the things we are
okay,
the things we are celebrating? You are celebrating in
we,
Nigeria.
we, we make fun of things when it's in embryo. Then when it matured and turns to a disaster like this, we are angry. No.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing this guy being persecuted, I want him to go to jail so that it becomes a picture for the people, especially our young ones, to see and get a deterrence for this thing. But then
Mm-hmm.
my pain is that the way that they went about it, we either watered down the magnanimity of this offense or create an escape with the rule of law. To every law, there is an exception. Law, it be like Bible. You know, say you want to prosper, there's a provision for it in the Bible.
Yeah.
You want to cause somebody to die, there's a provision for it in the Bible. You want to be poor and justify your poverty, there's a scripture that justifies poverty now. You want to, so anything you want is there. Same way is the law. As much as the law we say, if the person do this, this should happen. That same law we says, but if this. Now, to every claim, there can be a counterclaim. With the way they were going about it when it happened, when that thing, I was leaving work that morning when I saw that video. I was gross, like I was infuriated. But the problem is not the incident. The problem has been the preceding events that comes after. We naturally create, and that's what we are seeing now. Everything that's happening now, I foresee it. It will create an escape. Now, what will likely going to happen? I think I sent a message to you when I had it, that Babaji lawyer now is filing a counterclaim that they have encroached on the right of his clients. Those are counterclaim. Now, when they now say this man has committed this offense, he should go to 10 years. But in the process of when they are trying to prosecute him, they humiliated him, he was being humiliated, or they encroach his fundamental rights. It comes down to 4 years. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how it's going to end up playing out. Now, on the side of Yabo Ojo, I don't give no damn credit to her from today, from the start, because
No, she did well.
Well, she did well as a mother. Unfortunately, it's not mother that will judge it.
Well, our mother's the judge already.
Yes, People's Court. Excellent. She's doing the right thing at the People's Court. The People's Court.
Baba Ijesha, God knows. Baba Ijesha knows that the best thing that happens to him now is him being locked up at this time.
Of course. I will not even say, if I'm Baba Ijesha family, I will not even play that they release him. He will die in seconds. But that is the reason why that those are more. Do you see the way we feel? That it's not safe being outside. Those are the illegalities of this case. It should not be so. They should not create that impression in us. Because you see, you don't solve a crime by committing a crime.
That's true.
You solve a crime by going by the. They are creating an escape for this dude. I want this case to be
Ninja, there's nothing like you don't solve a crime by committing a crime. But
well,
jungle justice.
That doesn't legalize it. It's still a crime.
I know it doesn't legalize it, but I mean, it is what it is. It doesn't please pin comments. Oh my god, I wish I had.
I'm not with my glasses, so I can't see some of them. Now, you see, let me see something to watch it. Again, this has been my issue. Every other thing has been taken to the consideration except this girl. Every other thing has been considered. Now, the narrative of, oh yes, Iyabo Ojo is speaking from the place of pain and then from the place of as a mother. You know why? And people begin to counter this story. I know how this thing went. Everybody hates it when they hear it. But why people begin to counter it is those are things Iyabo Ojo going all out, saying a manner of things. You will sell your house to do this case. As what? As much as you are concerned, my friend, it's not your daughter. She can't even appear in court.
The fact that she said that doesn't mean that's what she wants to do, right?
Well, unfortunately, when you say things you can't say, I don't mean it. You know, right?
Do we mean everything that is said? That
we don't mean it, but
where were you? Where were you when?
In situations like this, everybody is underlining every statement. We know this is a sensitive case. So every statement will be underlined. Now, okay, you will say yes. We understand those ones are just statements of emotions. But see, this other side, they are already guilty. They are looking for everything. Like I said, they are going to create an escape. So they are using their hand to create an escape for this people. It will water down the gravity of this offense. And that has been my concern. Now, they went to the police station to demonstrate. Whichever validation you want to give it, Whichever validation you want to give it, whichever way we want to understand why they did what they did, it is an illegal action. Now, again,
No, protesting is not. When did protesting become illegal? What
okay,
are you
well,
talking
let's
about?
see where illegality coming to it. Protesting, it
Mm-hmm.
is legal. It's everybody's right to protest.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? Unfortunately, she was making a disclaimer that day that she did not come with those people, they just joined them there. There are people there that were holding sticks and all of those things behind them
Mm-hmm.
with that footage on the other side of these people, of this case now. That what they are going to claim, oh yeah, they came. Because you see, the statement at the end of the day was that they came to disrupt the process. It's disruption. Now, their own intention is making a protest. Because you begin to realize, unfortunately, you went live to make very, very grievous criminal statements. Don't release him. If you release him, we will kill him. Was open. Now, these people will make a counterclaim. Now, do you know Baba Jeta himself said he doesn't want to come out? When I heard that he said so, I said, and people will make a counterclaim. They will not talk about what he did again. The lawyer will go to court and plead guilty to the offense. No, because that's common sense. That's law. He will go there and plead guilty. Yes. Kò sí case mọ́. Ìwé sọ pé mo ṣe, mo ní mo ṣe. And then they will now talk about, now, counterclaim. This now happened. They will now say, yes, he did it. Yeah, but you did this. Okay. He will go to jail, but it will shock you. Write this down. Baba Deja will just go to jail for a couple of months or 2 years max, and that's it. Although even if you sentence him, no, write it down that I said so. Now, she been a Niger. Even
Yeah,
if
one of the
Naija
people been
go
an
to jail for
Nigerian.
10 days, if Babaja go to jail for 10 days, the statement has already been made. That's the good part. That you cannot do this and go scot free. Even if you go to jail for 4 hours, the statement has already been made. So at the end of the day, Daija will go to jail, whether it's 20 years, whether it is 2 years, we don't care. It will go to jail. So the pressure, the statement is there. But then, have we helped this girl in any way? Yes, she will feel a sense of healing in her spirit that at least she could get justice for the pain she has been nursing for 7 years. Yes, we have healed that pain, but guess what? We have created a bigger pain this girl faces out there now. How soon and how long do you think it will take her for her to forget? The damage that this scenario of this video has done is more than the damage that she was going through in the last 7 years. These are my concerns. That one happened, nobody knew. This one now, it becomes a public mess. Let me take this call. Let me get the charger. I did put the charger in my laptop. It's getting big. Hello? That's the thing with Nigeria calls. Who am I calling? And this person has been calling me like forever.
Oh yeah?
It's not getting through. Well, the number to call is on the screen. We said we will not use more than 2 hours. We're already time out. So
Time out. We have a few minutes. Let's just take some calls.
let's take calls, questions, no question. I'm not ready to answer anybody's question. Opinions, contribution, direct it to Abefe, because I know that all of you women are here, but
Opinions, suggestions.
we understand my own concern.
Yes, let's go. Victor Sisalo. So I mean, it's really sad, It's sad, like, and it's okay for us for women to judge Baba Ijesha, you know, emotions will definitely come to play because this is a very sensitive, issue, one that concerns a child, is one that everyone will, take to heart. You get what I mean? So I think they made a mistake, along the line, but yeah, I think as a mom, I heard someone say, "Oh no, I'll never do that," traumatizing the child a second time. But personally, I think it's something that I can do. God forbid, call on mama, but yeah, if that's what I need to nail that person, I'll go any length, just to make sure that I'm able to put that person away for a very, very long time. So yeah, I hope that the girl finds help. I hope that the system doesn't fail this girl totally. I pray that they're able to get her in some kind of therapy, you get her some kind of help. And yeah, princess, all of them. Yeah, it said if at the end of the day the girl's age is not 14, as Baba Jesha might walk away.
Yeah, we have a call. Hello, hello. Good morning.
I want to make a contribution to the program you're
Go
having
ahead,
now.
please.
You said something about the girl that because her face is out, she's ruined or something like that. I'm not sure how you actually put it. I think in Nigeria of 1990, you might be right. But in Nigeria of today, I disagree with you. I mean, there might be a percentage of Nigerians that will say, oh, because somebody has been raped or somebody has been molested, the person is now an untouchable. I don't see in a society how a victim now becomes ruined when the perpetrator is looked upon like a star. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So they put the girl's face out there because something happened to her. How would a reasonable human being now say, oh, because somebody did you a wrong, then you are now an untouchable to me? You get what I'm saying?
She's not ruined, no.
So the face is out there. The face is out there, I get that. But I don't see how that can ruin her in the sight of a reasonable human being. Now, if she were dealing with someone that is unreasonable, then an unreasonable person can say, oh, no, I can't touch you. Because I have a son. If my son brings home tomorrow a girl that had been raped or had been molested, I look at the character of the girl. I cannot say my son would not marry somebody because somebody had done the person wrong. You cannot say because somebody had kidnapped somebody some time ago and they did wrong to the person, then she should not have a future. So I totally disagree with you that the girl is ruined because they let out her face or something. For unreasonable people, they might not want to relate with her. But if she moves with reasonable people, she's good.
I have one question for you, man.
Okay.
How many reasonable people do you think is in Nigeria?
Oh, there are so many of them.
I know.
There are so many. Victor, let me tell you. Victor.
If we have so many reasonable people, we will not have this argument right now.
Victor, see, let me tell you. Yes,
how many
there's a stigma. Victor, let me tell you this.
So many.
Victor,
you're
making a mistake.
Let me finish and then we can continue this. You see, this is the same thing that had made a lot of people that were rape victims never to come out. I think I've never really had that experience. But I've spoken to a lot of people and I've seen a lot of people now that have kept this quiet because of this kind of reaction. Yeah. You as a victim, people now see you as being ruined, and so you continue to take it. You go through this abuse in one place, you go to another place, you still get abused because you cannot share this. In the fear that once it's shared, your life is destroyed forever. You know, so personally, I think if she makes good of her life, if she does not make this a determinant of her life, she goes to school, she does everything, it becomes irrelevant. She is at the video, she is the victim, she is not Baba Jesha. So why should that ruin her for life? Why should that prevent somebody from wanting to marry her? Would you say you want to marry a virgin? A lot of people marry people that are not virgins. So what does it matter if somebody rapes her or not? The thing is, you are not a virgin, the other person is not a virgin. So I don't see that I don't see that as ruining her. That is one point I wanted to make. The other point too that I want to make is about the video that they made. A lot of people are saying they don't think they should have made the video. If the video was not made, do you think we would be where we are today?
Good question.
We will never be where we are today because people will say, how do we know it's not a lie? How do we know that Princess and Guinea were not friends before and she's trying to get back?
All of these arguments still exist now, even with the video. They are still saying it.
No one is doubting the video. People are doubting the story of 7 years ago, not now. No one is doubting the video.
People are still saying that. What will people say without a video?
No one will even talk about it. No, they wouldn't even care.
With a video, it is difficult for the law to ignore what has happened because we cannot see it on the video. I tell myself, people say it's a setup. It's a setup, and somebody goes to close the door, and immediately the person is closing the door. You're already grabbing the person. I mean, I do
4 seconds.
I do agree with some people though that there might be an ongoing relationship with them. If the girl is a 14-year-old and you have a continuous ongoing relationship with a 14-year-old, and you are telling me, oh, he needs help, let him go to jail and go and deal with his help that he needs.
Get help.
Are we going to be talking about the help that he needs? If somebody is mentally ill, yes, they do need help. But if they go killing people, you want to tell me you'll be thinking of the mental person that had an issue rather than the person that was killed? So if he needs help, let him go get help, or let him go to jail and deal with that. And that serves as a deterrent to other people that see it like it's a norm, you know? So it's not just about this girl. This girl might be the sacrificial lamb. This is for other people that think it's okay for them to touch people's home anyhow, touch them anyhow. When they see what happens to a known person, when they want to stretch out their hands sometime in the future, they tell themselves, oh, it happened to Baba Ijesha, I better keep my hands in my pocket. When there's something wants to rise up when you see a little
especially those in power.
That, no, oh, this is prison in front of me. So this is serving as a deterrent for future and preventing some other girls somewhere not to be victims in the future. So that's why that's why this is happening. And I pray he goes to jail. And I don't care whether he goes for 1 year or he goes for 2 years or he goes for how many months. Let him go. It's because Nigerian people do things and there's no consequence for actions. That's why people continue to do things that they are doing. But when you realize that when there's a consequence for
and
what
get away with it,
then you stop to do certain things. You see, if they start jailing some of the politicians too that are stealing money, you wouldn't have a lot of people stealing our money anymore.
Amen.
When there's no consequence, people continue to do anything. That's the difference between Nigeria and these foreign countries that we are. Because people realize there are consequences for what they are doing. Once there is a consequence, then you learn not to do certain things. That's the way I see it. I don't know how people are saying Yabo Ojo is buying sympathy for Ijesha, Baba Ijesha. What kind of sympathy? What sympathy? How can you look around? You're a celebrity. How can you look around and there are so many women out there? There is not enough that fancies that catches your fancy. It's a
tickles your fancy.
That you should catch your fancy. And people are saying he has a problem. What kind of problem? Let him go deal with it in prison. That's the way I see it. Thank you so much for the way you are analyzing everything in an intellectual manner.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, that she made a very good point, you know.
Yeah.
Saying, oh, the stigma can ruin the girl. Like nothing is ruining the girl, man.
Unfortunately, yeah, you guys are looking ruining from the angle of marriage alone. That's not the point. This caller, I hope.
Victor, if the girl, she gets the help that she needs, she gets therapy, she goes back to school, she will become an asset.
Go ahead, man.
Fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ibi tẹ́sí sọ pé kò possible kí ọmọ 6 as in kí ọmọ tó ọmọ 6 papọ̀. Ó possible tó ní experience tọ̀dọ̀ mi ní area tọ̀dọ̀ wa ń bí by Nigeria mo ti ń pè yín. There's one woman in our area. First born in best side ni. First born yẹn dẹ̀ bí ọmọ 7. Gbogbo ọmọ 7 yẹn, woman yẹn ló gba ọmọ yẹn. Tí ọmọ yẹn bá ti pé 6 months, ó máa ń gba ọmọ yẹn. So woman ni gbogbo ọmọ 7 yẹn, woman yẹn ló ń tọ́jú ọmọ yẹn. Lẹ́yìn first born yẹn, another grandchildren too. Ó wà ní gbogbo ọmọ tí woman yẹn tọ́ da like maybe 20 nínú one room tó ń sùn. And that only woman.
Poultry no nínú.
Ló ń tọ́ ọmọ yẹn. Tẹ́ bá rí bó tẹ̀ ṣe máa ń sùn. Àyè tó kéré jù náà ọmọ yẹn 5 years and 5 years ẹ̀ fún àyè ló ń wẹ̀ fún ààrẹ gbogbo ọmọ yẹn. So possible kẹ́ pé princess tó kò bá take care ọmọ ẹ̀ dáadáa ó possible ẹ̀ pé ó máa rape ọmọ ẹ̀ ní 7 years ago tí kò ní mọ̀ tí kò bá take care tó pé ó máa exactly this case ó máa mo kàn bí ọ̀rọ̀ princess ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀ mo kàn ń wò pé tó bá possible tẹ́ pé nǹkan báyìí tó kọ́kọ́ báyìí bá ṣẹlẹ̀ sí kan náà ọmọ ó máa ò ní mọ̀ ọmọ 5 years fún ẹ̀ ló máa ń wẹ̀ fún ara rẹ̀ ló máa ń gbà mí báyìí tó máa sọ pé ẹlẹ́yà ni ó máa ẹ̀ tó bá sọ pé ẹlẹ́yà wọn bójú ò bọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ before mo mọ reason ẹ̀ tó ṣe ń pè wọ́n lórúkọ yẹn pé ọmọ yìí kò rẹ kíní kan they were like ṣé òun ló máa wá bóun ṣe máa jẹun kóun tó wá bọ́ ọmọ yẹn ṣe máa jẹun ṣé òun lòun máa tún máa rẹ̀ fún wọn tó bá wọn kọ́ rẹ̀ tó bá wọn kọ́ máa rẹ̀ tí wọ́n ṣáà ní pé kóun wá bó ṣe máa jẹun so ìgbà mi máa wà tẹ́ pé àwọn aládùúgbò gan ìgbà mi máa wà tẹ́ pé àwọn aládùúgbò ló máa tó jẹ́ 5 years yẹn ti di green yẹn ti di gold sorry ní tẹ́ pé kò ní fọnu kò ní ṣe ìgbà mi aládùúgbò ló máa mu èmi ìfò so there are many people ní Nàìjíríà bíi bàyẹ̀ tẹ́ pé ọmọ wọn ń gbé káàkiri tẹ́ pé wọn tẹ̀ kí ẹ̀ so ó possible kí ọmọ mẹ́fà fíyàn bí ọmọ mẹ́fà kó fẹ́yàn bí tí mo fẹ́ yọ point yẹn jáde ni àti rape yẹn náà ó possible yẹn náà possible kọ́ rape ọmọ yẹn kọ́ máa mọ̀ tó ti woman yẹn ló jẹ́ kí n rò pé dépò ọdún wọn tí mo mọ̀ pé ti rape ọmọ woman yẹn rí wọn kò nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ wọn ti ṣẹlẹ̀ but experience tí yàn rí ládùúgbò ìdúró tí woman yẹn ṣe ń tàn ọmọ ẹ̀ pé kò tẹ̀ kó ṣe pé kò kí ẹ̀ bọ̀ ẹ̀yà arúgbó ni woman yẹn is over 60 years so gbogbo ọmọ grandchildren gbogbo ọdẹ like 20 tó ń gbé lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀ so kó tó wá oúnjẹ àtàjẹ ní woman yẹn ta so kó tó wá oúnjẹ gbogbo wọn public school ló ń lọ kó tó wá oúnjẹ tó máa jẹ kò tẹ̀sí nǹkan tó kàn pẹ̀lú wọn rẹ̀ àbí wọn rẹ̀ so possible dáadáa ní Nàìjíríà yìí ẹ ṣe sàǹkan tó fẹ́ sọ ni.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Another part. Poverty.
Ṣé ti rí sí real life story lọ́wọ́ yẹn o.
Poverty
ṣé ìyá yẹn tí ẹ̀ bá rí ọkọ̀ tó ní ẹ̀kọ́ àwọn ọmọ máa fún mi kí n bá yín tọ́ ṣé kò ní gladly kó wọn lọ. so lágbára Ọlọ́run Nigeria is fucked up.
Wọ́n èèyàn tí ò tẹ̀ bímọ.
May God help us. See, I remember back in the days mo lọ́mọ ọ̀dọ̀ kan wọ́n ṣe gbọ́mọ yẹn fún mi. The plan was pé màmá sanwó. So I paid the first month. The second month, ìyá ọmọ yẹn wá rí mi. Ìyá ọmọdọ̀ mi wá sọ fún mi pé òun ò fẹ́ kí n sanwó mọ́, àwọn fún mi lọ́mọ yẹn. Àwọn ò fẹ́ kí n sanwó mọ́. That girl lived with me for years. Ìyá ògbó lọ́mọ èmi ni mo máa ń fi discretion mi send owó sí yẹ pé wọ́n wẹ̀yìn wò rí pé kọ́ wá ọmọ yìí pé kọ́ béèrè pé báwo ni wọ́n pè mí rí báwo lọmọ yìí èmi fún ara mi màá kọ̀ wò pé àwọn pípọ̀ ìwé fún wọn lówó mo rán ọmọ yẹn lọ sí school. When I relocated from Lagos to Abuja ọmọ yìí lọ pẹ̀lú when I was relocating from Abuja to this country tí mo wà yìí I left this girl fún ẹ̀gbọ́n mi because I called the mom I'm like mo travel you know ọmọ yìí dẹ̀rẹ̀ mo rò pé kó padà wálé mo yìí máa sanwó school mo yìí máa make sure pé ó kàwé ẹ̀ tán ó ṣe gbá ó ṣe àwọn mọ́mí ẹ̀ ní rárá pé anywhere tí bá mọ̀ tí mo fẹ́ fi sí pé kódà gan ó tún lábúrò no when I was living Lagos for Abuja she said ó lábúrò kan tí wàá lè gbé àwọn méjèèjì dání tí mo ṣe ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ yìí that girl just went back home less than 6 months ago she just went back home less than 6 months ago for how many years. So I mean you can't really tell see shit nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ gan ní Naija. To be honest, so you really can't. That's why I said the issue of ìyá kan kọ́ ọmọ 60 like like I won't even go there. See, okay. Let me tell you another story. I know a lady who has a little bit of mental, mental health issue, and she had like 4 or 5 kids. Woman yìí gan kò gbádùn débi tó máa gbádùn ara rẹ̀ débi tó máa mọ ibi táwọn ọmọ mẹ́rin wà. Mo kàn máa ń gbọ́ pé woman yẹn lọ́mọ mẹ́rin ni. Woman yẹn gan ìyá yẹn gan kò mọ̀ bóyá òun láwọn ọmọ mọ́. So you can't tell the mental state of this child's mom. You can't tell what don't really go on in life one. You don't really know, what's going on in their life to know why almost 6 work for the princess. And the way is when we say, oh, the only thing that I think would affect the child right now, and which is why I said the child needs therapy, is the stigmatization, the stigma.
Exactly. So, what I'm saying when I said, the consequence of this thing being out there, it's not about not being married. See,
no, it's not about that.
Yes, we fly for 4 years. I'm a guy.
And let me tell you, this girl can become an asset. This girl can become an asset to Nigeria as a whole, because this is if she gets justice and then she gets all the help that she needs, she goes back to school and make something out of herself, she can, like, she can become, a top
Is in a proper
kidney in
setting. You
future.
will be
Like,
coming
there's
for all
no
that doing campaign, talking about this thing and traveling everywhere,
these
sensitizing
things.
people.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's no limitation.
My
Fun or
own
more.
is, you see,
The
at the
fact
end of
that
the
she's
day in
been
life,
raped, there's no
is
limitation.
how you convert your experience. You can get a positive or a
Mm-hmm.
negative reaction from it. So you understand? But you see, let
Mm-hmm.
us not be unaware of our limitations. Rape,
Mm-hmm.
stigmatization is real. It's
Mm-hmm.
real. You understand? It exists.
Hello, Mr. Victor.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon from London.
Good
Are you
afternoon.
still on the live show?
Yes, please.
Good afternoon.
Yes, thank you very much. I just want to make a little contribution. Lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tá à ń sọ lọ́wọ́, stigmatization yẹn real.
Thank you.
Èmi ti marry for over 4 decades. Ìgbà táwa marry, virginity ó jẹ́ key. Ọmọ tí ò bá ní virginity nígbà yẹn, ojú ń ti òbí ẹ̀, a dẹ̀ lè wọ white, a lè ṣe society wedding, a lè ṣe church wedding. Àwọn èèyàn máa ń lọ registry tó wá di tó dancing. Now, stigmatization ayé ìgbà yẹn, òun làwa fi ń gbọ́ lẹ́nu àwọn parents wa pé o gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe báyìí fún ẹ, o gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe báyìí, òun láti má dojú tì wá and the rest. Ọmọ tí ò bá ṣèyàwó gidi nígbà táwa wà yẹn, táwa ṣe tiwa yẹn, or before us, nígbà yẹn, ìtìjú ni fúnra ẹ̀, ìtìjú ni fóbi ẹ̀. Now, ká wá sọ pé ó rape ọmọ. Ṣẹ́rí tó bá yẹ pé wọn ò gbé síta, lóòótọ́ mo agree pẹ̀lú téèyàn kan sọ́nbẹ̀ yẹn, wípé tọ́wọ̀n bá gbójú ẹ̀ síta, ó tún dáa. Another thing ni pé bọ́ ṣe tún gbójú ẹ̀ síta náà, ó tún dáa. Ṣó ti yé yín? Now, àwọn tó lè sọ̀rọ̀ in the past, I was talking to somebody lórí ọ̀rọ̀ bàbá Ìjẹ̀ṣà yìí, and ọmọ yẹn dẹ̀ sọ fún mi, ó ní mọ́mí olókù díẹ̀ kan ṣe fóun náà. Mo ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ó kù díẹ̀ kẹ̀ lọ́dún náà lọ́hùn ló sọ, a kàn discuss generally ni. Ó ló kù díẹ̀ kan ṣe fóun, onítọ̀hún ti dàgbò ti marry o. Ó lóun lọ sí ilé ọ̀rẹ́ òun, ṣe pé àwọn ọmọ tó máa ń lọ sí ilé ọ̀rẹ́. And thank God for our own parents, lọ ilé ọ̀rẹ́. So bóyá tó kó wọ́n over protect wa kò jẹ́ káwa fall victim. Bó ṣe pé àgbà tí ń dé sáwọn òbí mi sìn, oúnjẹ ká wà lẹ́nu ní kékeré. Ọkọ̀ náà fi ń gbé wa lọ sí school, gbogbo schools wa tá lọ ní láyé ìgbà yẹn. So fi bẹ́ẹ̀ mix. Bó ṣe rí poverty tó wà Nàìjíríà ń sìn, ó ti jẹ́ pé ọmọ ló ń pa owó oúnjẹ wálé fòbí. Ó ti jẹ́ pé àwọn ọmọkùnrin mú spoon àti the other one, mi fẹ́ pè lórúkọ, spoon sister. Wọ́n mú dání sápò lọ jẹ, ibi tó ń jẹ bá ti sọ̀kalẹ̀ sí náà ń jẹ, wọ́n ń sìn. You know, so oúnjẹ ká wà lẹ́nu, kò jẹ́ kó lè máa fi wá lọ dógò níbì kan. So nísìnyí àwọn ọmọ ọ̀sìn ibi tó ń jẹ bá ti bá wọn ni now. Ó fẹ́ padà sọ́dọ̀ ọmọ tó sọ pé ó kù díẹ̀ kó náà fall victim fún rape yìí. Ó ní níṣe ni òun lọ sọ́dọ̀ ọ̀rẹ́ òun, ṣe pé àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké ọ̀rẹ́ ládùúgbò bíi ilé kẹta, ilé kẹrin, street kejì. Àṣé àwọn brothers ọ̀rẹ́ yẹn, brother ọ̀rẹ́ yẹn ó ti fẹ́ mú balẹ̀, ó kàn tí ni, ó lóun kò sáré escape. Ẹjọ́ kí ló fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀? Kò dẹ̀ sọ fún ìyá tó bí, I want to believe that. Ọ̀rọ̀ bàbá Ìjẹ̀ṣà ló gbé, bó máa kú díẹ̀ kó ṣeun náà. Ṣé rí poverty kọ́lọ̀ ń kó ṣàánú Nàìjíríà, kó heal Nàìjíríà tó tálì ni. Kọ́là tó sọ̀rọ̀, ó ní èèyàn kan ní 20 children. Ẹjọ́ ẹ fẹ́ sọ fún mi pé báwọn ọmọ bá ṣe ń dàgbà sí 20 children in the grandchildren in the room. Ẹ fẹ́ sọ fún mi pé àwọn tenant ibẹ̀ ò ní máa bá wọn sùn tó bá yá. Tọ́lẹ̀ máa ní kó má sọ̀rọ̀. Oríṣiríṣi ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Ṣé rí nobody, àwọn èèyàn kàn tí olúkàkú ti bọ́ sórí social media. Olúkàkú sọ nǹkan tó rí, à ń ṣe kóòtù, àdè òṣòfin fúnra wa. Bàbá Ìjẹ̀ṣà, wọ́n rògbò ẹ̀ ní o, wọ́n ta kámẹ́rà fún ní o, kíní ẹjọ́ tí n bá kí n ṣolè. Nobody support. Personally, I'm not supporting Bàbá Ìjẹ̀ṣà. Àdè dájọ́ fúnra wa. Ọmọ ọlọ́mọ yẹn. Princess lágbára láti tọ́jú ọmọ, kò lágbára. Èmi kò tó ń fún èmi concern lórí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ni pé èmi believe pé wọ́n ti ń ṣe kinní pẹ̀lú ọmọdé yìí tipẹ́. Okay, now Bàbá Ìjẹ̀ṣà ó gbọ́nú ilé yẹn, wọ́n sẹ̀tẹ̀ ọ̀pọ̀, wọ́n pè kó wá ní o, wọ́n ò pé kó wá ní. Ẹjọ́ olè tó ń gbọ́mọ ẹjọ́. tó bá yẹ kó bàbá bí ọ̀rẹ́ bá dẹ̀ mọ́ jẹ náà fi ń ṣe
Welcome to that call.
èyí sì ṣùgbọ́n lórí pé ọkìnrin yóò ṣe stigma mo bìlí pé stigma ni ní Nàìjíríà o nílùú ọba táwa wà káàkiri yìí ó lè má jẹ́ stigma because ṣe nígbà táwa marry ó tó stage kan ọkọ tèmi fẹ́ ń béèrè pé kí ni life mi kí ni past mi kí ni gbá ìyìn ní past tó rán bá wà ń lé mi ìyìn ní past ṣóyè yín bó ṣe pé afẹ́ ká sọ mi ò mọ nǹkan kan pa ẹ̀ mi ò mọ jójó àlọ́ patí ẹni tèmi dẹ̀ fẹ́ social person ni àwọn ọmọ ìbúté mẹ́ta ṣàpá àwọn gbọ́ fàájì àwọn wà ní kọ́nà wa bìsùn lè tán ti géètì mọ́ wa so ó wá jẹ́ pé two parallel lines that can never meet mi àtọkọ mi tó bá ń play gbogbo àwọn fújì àwọn wàsíà ìdí ẹ̀ èmi ò máa kọ gospel ṣé ti rí the difference between us so what I want to say ni pé ẹni tó ti yájú síta ẹ lè gbé wọlé mọ́ Ọlọ́run ló lè tún Nàìjíríà ṣe bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí the other lady tó wà pẹ̀lú lórí show yẹn wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ kan wọ́n ní wọ́n fún àwọn ọlọ́mọ ọ̀dọ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀ fi ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ yẹn jì àwọn ó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí parents mi ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ ta ni wọ́n fi jì wá náà ni adẹ̀ràn òun ló tọ́ èmi ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ yẹn ó lọ sí school ó lọ sí special institution mọ́tà mi ló dẹ̀ ṣèyàwó fún ìgbà ńlá tó mọ àwọn tó bí o nígbà tó fẹ́ ṣèyàwó mọ́tà mi wá àwọn òbí ẹ̀ kan ẹ wo iye years tó fi tọ́rù àwa ìyá àti Felicia bóyá ó wà láyé bóyá ó ti kún sí àmì ọmọ torí àti darúgbó àti fẹ́ wọ 80 or almost 90 tó bá tí ò bá ìkú so ó ti wà ti pẹ́ tó máa dógò madam tó bá ń ṣe program yẹn wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé ilé yẹn da ọmọwé ní á bá wọn tọ́jú ẹ̀ náà ṣe fi jì í ṣùgbọ́n tó bá kí tí kọ́kọ́ bá ṣe ọmọ yẹn lákàtà wọn ẹ̀rí pò bí àyọjú òbí àyọjú ẹgbàá bí yẹn sọ fún yín gbogbo àwọn churches tí mushroom churches I'm sorry to say ọtọ́ máa náà wo wèrè ní Nàìjíríà kéèmì tó dé ìlú òyìnbó wọ́n á lọ fi àwọn tó ní mental issues wọ́n á lọ fi sí church wọn wọ́n á ní kó gbàdúrà fún wọn kó bá wọn heal wọn ṣóyè yín wọn ò ní rí family ẹni tó sick yẹn mọ́ ìjọ tí wọn bá rí ìyá yẹn bàbá yẹn tó bá rìn lọ ṣàpá àwọn yẹn náà máa rìn lọ lẹ́ẹ̀ma tó mọ̀ mo tẹ̀ rí wòlíì kan tó ṣẹ̀wọ̀n ní kíní kò yí prison lórí pé èèyàn wọn rìn lọ over 2 decades wọn ọ̀rẹ́ tó ní màmá yẹn the man was feeding the woman he was looking after her ìjọ tó rìn lọ làwọn èèyàn jáde kíríkìrí ló lọ o àbí kò yí prison dẹ̀ ló lọ lọ́dún náà lọ so what I'm saying ni pé in tó ṣọmọ yẹn very unfortunate èmi ò ṣe adájọ́ mi ì dẹ̀ mọ lọ́ọ̀ tó bẹ́ẹ̀ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ gbogbo aládájọ́ lórí Facebook kò sí kọ́lọ̀ kó ṣàánú fún wa but the only thing tẹ́mi mọ̀ ni pé bàbá Ìjẹ̀ṣà kí àwọn court kọ́dájọ́ ní tó bá fẹ́ ṣe ìbàjẹ́ ọdún kan ìbàjẹ́ 2 days ìbàjẹ́ 10 years ẹni tó bá ṣẹ̀ òun lọ ìka tó bá ṣẹ̀ lọ bá ń gé ọmọ yẹn ọmọ tá à ń sọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí ọ̀gọ̀rọ̀ ló sì wá ń ta tó máa speak out nísìnyí mo believe yẹn tó bá ní courage torí Nàìjíríà wọ́n ń bò mọ́lẹ̀ ní ṣóyè yín ó dẹ̀ láti dópin Ọlọ́run á ràn wá lọ́wọ́ o ẹ kú ètò.
Thank you.
Ẹ ṣé gan ma.
We need to wrap up. Of course, you know.
We need to. I know.
Now, what's your final submission?
So my final submission is that emotions are running high. Let's all just take it easy, with our judgments and all. At the end of the day, personally, I really don't care about Princess or Yabo. I'm more particular about the girl, and I hope that she gets all the help that she needs. She needs therapy. She needs help. She needs, I think she needs to be taken off Princess. That's like the first step that should be taken. She needs to get some kind of protection. And yeah, I mean, it's sad. It's sad. And, while we pass judgment and, we want to question the video and all, we should ask ourselves, what if this was our own child, Because I feel, I personally, anything that happens to any child, is that child, it automatically becomes our own children, our own child. You get what I mean? And it's our duty to look after the child. So whatever it is, we all have the right to our opinions. Like I said at the start of the show, we don't have to fight. We don't have to become enemies because we have different opinions.
Like crazy. This is where will not let us go.
On this show, do you have the strength to take more calls? I think you need to rest.
Honestly, I've had a very pretty long. You don't have an idea.
So Victor has had a really long day. He actually just got back home, so it's important. We can have a second show. We can have another show. We can. There's so many topics to talk about. We can, have another show. In a couple of days to just, elaborate or talk about
Yeah,
something else.
yeah.
But yeah, for me, it's that's just it. Like, just use your platform to do what you think is right. But when it comes to do with children, personally, it's a sensitive one, and it's one that we cannot, as women, we can't treat this without putting all of our emotions into it. So yeah, that's my goodbye note.
Yeah, thank you. For me,
Sorry.
it's gonna be it will be I am more concerned my to everything that happened, like issues that become social media trend like this. I always want to take out after all our debate. How can we relate to this? What is the moral lessons that we want to get out of it? Now, as parents, as individual, for me, I like to look at it from all of the characters. The girl who is the victim. Much goes to parenting now. We should be aware. Somebody said something to me. He said, yes, Babaji should go to prison, but if he plays a proper setting where there are good human rights activists. After Babaji shall land in prison today, an activist can rise up and sue Princess tomorrow for negligence. And they will make a big case out of it. And for me, so to me, what's one of the important things is, you see, we will not be debating this thing if it has never happened. Like I've always said, lead us into temptation is better than deliver us from evil. If it has not happened, it is better. I would really want to feel like parents should be more aware. One of the things that we've talked about today is, oh yeah, those days people can't even speak up, they can't even tell their parents. Why? Because our parents did not teach us. Instead, they instilled fear in us. I was already in an high institution and I don't even know where babies come out from. I've said this on the show before. Me and my friends were arguing, and my mother was in the room hearing me. I've already written jam, arguing with two of my friends. That one says baby come out from. I thought people give birth because the way Yoruba used to say idi, and they call both the same thing. So I thought people shit baby out. So my friend was like, "You are
No,
a
they don't
fool."
call both the same. There is one ED, there is one OBO.
But all the parents of our own days then, they call both. They will still call the D. Ah, man, don't talk on D. And that's what they say.
Okay.
So I thought they
Yeah.
come out just like you are taking an X-ray. So I was so confident in what I know, and I was making arguments. My mother was sitting in the living room. We were in the balcony, and she was hearing us. She was hearing us, and I was making this argument. And by the time I was very sure of what I was saying. When I get back in the room, my mother said, uh, "What are you guys making noises?" She intentionally asked me, and because I was too sure of what I was saying, I told her. I said, "Look at those fools." He said, "This is." Her mother looked at me and said, "Wow." And she
You are the
held
fool.
close and beat the crap out of me. Like, why am I having that kind of nasty conversation? As in, she beat me so bad. Now, I wasn't pained. Later, when I grew up, remembering this is then that she beat me. What hurt me later is that she finished beating me and she still did not tell me.
Hmm.
I was already out of secondary school. Do you know, in all fairness, that I know how a baby is being passed out when I was in about 100, 200 level in our institution?
Wow.
Real life story. This is me. So our parents did not teach us. You cannot raise a child with lies. tó bá fọkàn ẹ̀ máa lóyún kíní kan tó bá wo ọkùnrin. Don't raise your child with lies. It is not being, we are just being an hypocrite. You think you can't use certain words with your children because you don't want them to learn those words. Whether you use it or you don't use it, they know those words. The fact that they're not saying it in your house doesn't mean they don't know it. They know it. Let them be aware. The better you can build friendship, a relationship with your child or with your children, the better you will know them. Yes, they listen to you, and don't forget, we are in a, those when they raised us, we only get lessons and information from two places: our parents and school. Now, things has changed. They learn from. In fact, the study shows that the least place that they learn from is home. They learn more in school and on social media. You need to see kids in America arguing with their parents. Mommy, no, that's not what my teacher said. For some reason, they believe their teacher more than you. And guess what? You don't even know who the teacher is. You have some teachers with certain orientations. I don't want to discriminate any orientation or any faith or sexual orientation now, but you are ready now. You have your child, like we Nigerians, for example, there's a way we feel about homosexuality. You have a child, your child now is being tutored, being raised by an atheist or by a gay, and then he's telling your child their own belief. You understand? They use social media, they use phone. Now we can't afford not to give our children phone. We don't have phone then. We don't even have computer. That I saw, I was already grown. That I have to handle a computer like this. We're already grown. So they learn from so many sources now. If you think they don't know what you are trying not to say in their presence, you are joking. So you will be a smart parent to jump in front to give them the first-hand information before they will get the wrong one outside. We have to just get away from all those deceptions. If you don't give them so that when they go outside and they hear other thing or they get all of these information, they can say, no, mommy said. They have the first-hand information. And just check.
Yeah.
Be aware. Last thing I'm going to say is this: we need to understand that justice is never served on social media. I think this word is abusing social media. I think there's so much abuse on social media. Bad things are done like this. And instead of people to, maybe it's an emergency, to help or to, those days when you are misbehaving. How many, I grew up, we used to go to my grandmother's place for holiday. We've done that there, mommy, very well. Now we would go and put mats. They used to engage me. They would say, yeah, I just ask, but there's one girl, I think she's smarter. Those ones, they smart. They are in we are on the gates. But we just go to my grandmother's house. She would always make me to do daddy, and she would now take comforter and all these Ankara clothes. You can't just soon. I mean, she's not doing the extreme, but it was when I got another. Because when we had become teenagers, she now came to me one day and tell me I like you, I want us to be dating. So I knew that from those days that she would be using me for daddy. There was an intention. You understand? But you see, with the one strange person just passed by and just see where we are doing at that moment. Kò mọ ìyá mi rí, kò mọ grandma mi rí, kò mọ family ọmọ yẹn rí. Wọ́n kàn wá ní kọ́nà alẹ́ kan tẹ́ kàn ń ṣe rubbish. Tó ṣe máa nà ẹ́. With no fear of what your parents will do. Because those days, they used to follow ojú kan ló ń bímọ ìgbà ojú ló ń tọ́. Gone are those days. But now, if they see your child misbehaving, guess what they're going to do? Pop out their phone, make videos, post it. We have much of trying to win arguments than trying to get things right. I think that's one of the things that is affecting this issue. People who attend to these things at first hand, wants to win arguments, wants to be validated. We seek so much validation than actually doing the right thing. It's crazy. It's disturbing how we tend to. I see so many people get frustrated. You just want to make everybody believe you. If you are on the truth, everybody don't have to believe you. If you are saying the truth is self-sufficient. The truth is self-sufficient. Stand on its own. You don't need anything to add to the truth for the truth to validate itself. chance,
That's
my
right.
ladies and gentlemen. It's so
Thank
good
you
to
so much.
have you guys here.
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you
so
all.
unfortunate
Thank
that
you,
I couldn't
Abefe.
see the comments
Maybe you
today,
guys don't
but
know. Abefe is in Tuesday
thank
right
you,
now.
Victor.
Abefe, Tuesday, Abefe. After
Actually,
Abefe's house,
Tuesday. This is 12:35 a.m. Like
Tuesday,
I
after Abefe's
practically
house
struggle to keep my
is
eyes open.
the
Like
Garden of Eden behind the house.
heaven.
But past Abefe's house is the Garden of Eden. From our window, they used to plug the
Thank you guys so much. I'll go back to the show.
It's midnight right now.
I'll window share. I will let him plug the apple. I will go back to the show. It's midnight. It's 12:35. I'll go back to the show. I'll read all comments. Thank you guys so much from Victor King
My
Initiatives. Thank you
apologies
for
to
joining
everybody
us.
that is still
Everyone on
calling.
Ato Ato
Like I've had
Kudabefe.
like 26 calls right now as we keep talking. We can't go for that.
Apologies,
Sorry.
we can't go
You know I
further.
can stay
Like,
longer than this, but I've been on my feet for 16 hours working all night.
yeah, he's been
Working
working
from 3
all
p.m.
night.
to
So
7 a.m. this morning.
we'll
I don't
come
even know
back
how I'm still
again. We
talking.
will come back. We'll do another show again sometime this week. We'll find time to do one more show. Maybe on Friday, we'll see if we can have one more show. Just to come, we'll just do a show and have people call in and just say their opinion. And yeah, we have so many topics there. One of the topics that I really want to talk about with Victor is co-parenting, and we'll see how we'll find the time to come
Co-parenting.
online to.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I should be the right person for that.
that's
Yeah,
a very good one.
I
I
get,
think,
I get
yeah, I
that.
think it
I
will
get
be,
that.
yeah.
Anna,
So we'll do that sometime. We'll let you guys know. We'll let you guys know. Oh boy. We'll let you guys know when we'll be out again this week. But
you
thank
know
you so
what I
much,
want us to
everyone, for
debate.
joining
You
us.
know what I want us to debate before you go.
Mm-mm.
Everybody, send your children away. I want to say nonsense. I noticed something recently in the past 2 weeks. I've seen a
Mm-hmm.
couple of videos and comments like shows where women are using anger to
Mm-hmm.
talk about this issue. I know that it's important, but the way
What is the issue? So what
the
is the thing?
veracity at which they are explaining, how will you have a husband that cannot hit you? This eating thing, did you guys do meeting to now be protesting or
It's
I feel like
important to
the
know
women will still like
how to
they will
wash
still raise
plates.
placard one day and say any man that cannot hit lap plates
That cannot
will
lap
be
plate.
sentenced to. Did you guys have a meeting or what?
Then
How
yeah,
come
she
it's not
association,
becoming
women
I'm serious, it's
women
becoming very trendy.
international.
I know it's cool, I know women like it, but the way they're making like it has to happen now.
It has to.
Will get me, move, get here.
Anyway, we'll
I'm a
find
drag
time.
you.
We'll pick a topic and then we'll come talk about it.
Ladies and
Thank you
gentlemen,
so much. Thank you.
no, good morning for those of us who are in the world, and good night to those who are.
Good night. Good night to those of you at the end of the world, and good morning to us. Those of us.